According to our political editor, it was a night of surprises, with the promise of a difficult parliamentary time for the government.
Stupid
The money
toaster.
markets have been quick to react
Why
to the
can't we
results.
have a decent
In London,
one? This is
the
an
pound
antique.
opened half
It was
a
a
cent
wedding
down
present.
on the dollar,
Maybe
and
noisy,
has been
but the
losing
toast
ground
is
against
fine.
all the major currencies on the Australian, Japanese and Hong Kong exchanges in the past few hours. It's been announced that President Bush has sent a message of congratulations to the Prime Minister.
I bet he
A
was up
Downing
all night
Street
looking for his
spokesman said that
crayons.
the message from the White House was the
Look
first
at
received
this
from a foreign
stuff.
government
It's disgusting.
and was a reminder
It's
of
enough
the
to make
special
you puke.
relationship
It really
between the
is.
United Kingdom
Toast?
and the
Very
United
funny.
States. The President said that he looked forward to further cooperation on international issues between London and Washington and the strengthening of what he called this key transatlantic partnership.
It's 13 minutes past 7, so the government is back, but only just. As we've heard, its majority has been cut from more than 100 to only 4. And with 3 results yet to come, the final majority may be as little as 3.
Well, arithmetic
Well,
never
after
was the
8 o'clock, we
BBC's
shall be
strong
talking to the
point.
Prime
Daddy will be
Minister
on
and
in a
to the
minute.
Leader
He
of the
really
Opposition.
hates this sort
But
of
now
thing,
we've been
especially when he's
joined by the
tired.
man whose job it will be to hold that slimline majority together in the House, the Government Chief Whip, Charles Bannister.
Yes.
Perhaps you should have been up there yesterday whipping in the voters.
Good morning, Brian. You know, there was no need for me to be there. Our policies proved to be the most persuasive chief whip possible. I think if you look at the percentage of votes cast, then the result isn't as gloomy as some of you seem to think.
Yeah, but it's seats in the House that will make your parliamentary life easy, not votes.
No one's denying that. All I'm saying is that government represents the voters, and when you look at the large numbers that voted for us, we quite clearly have a mandate for our programme.
Yeah, but you've still got to get it through the voting lobbies. Aren't you going to have to come to some arrangement with the fringe parties?
We have every confidence that our programme will be seen as a reasonable one. If it's voted against out of political malice, well, then that would simply be irresponsible and totally against the interests of the country as a whole.
Well, what about the minority parties? They've done rather well, haven't they? You're going to need their help when it comes to voting in the lobbies. You can't pretend they're not there,
More coffee?
especially
No,
if it
thanks,
means the
not for
difference
me.
between winning a vote or losing it.
I'm sure the smaller parties will recognise that many of our ambitions are theirs also. However, as I've said, government is there to represent the views of all the people, and I'm sure we would never ignore the views of any legal political grouping.
So, you think there might be a pact, the sort of thing that the Callaghan government had?
I didn't say that.
No, but you implied it.
Well, as I've said, responsible government will consider all views, but the whole matter of pacts and compacts and agreements is totally hypothetical. It would serve no purpose.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I hear we're finally going to get the result at Hampnet, which is one of the seats which, on the evidence of last night, could be another gain for the opposition. Brian Bright's our reporter in Hampnet. How many recounts is this, Brian?
Don't think I can stand much more of this.
Daddy sounded really tired.
Well, what do they expect him to say? Fine, let's have a coalition right away. I'll mention it to the Prime Minister over coffee this morning.
But if that's what they planned...
Don't be cynical.
Well, why didn't he just say so?
You don't really think anyone knows yet. You saw your father when he came back this morning, up all night, washed out, and dredging his mind for something that wouldn't sound trite and complacent for Mr. Redhead and Co.
Well, obviously he couldn't think of anything.
Oh, let's forget it, shall we? It's been a long, lousy night. We both need sleep. Maybe a rest will restore our sense of loyalty.
But it's true. The voters obviously didn't think much of the last trillion years. All Daddy comes up with is a lot of hooey about responsible government will consider all views.
And what's wrong with that?
If they'd thought more about other people's views before, perhaps they wouldn't be in such stuck now.
Arthur, if you're going out, get me half ounce of packet of green papers, will you?
On a lung machine by the sound of it.
Pillock. And if you see Mr. Bannister, ask him to buzz me.
Oh, he won't be in, will he? Must have been up all night.
If you see him, just tell him, right?
Anything particular, so to speak?
Oh, Struth. None of your business. Badge messengers stop where the carpet starts. Whip's office.
Thanks very much, I'm sure. Get your own flipping Becky, then.
5-10 minutes at the most.
See if I'd care.
Don't worry, I will. Bye.
Bit of an asshole, so to speak.
One of these days, Arthur Hawkins, your nose will drop off. Now push off.
That's what my old mum used to say. Arthur, she'd say...
Morning to you. Ah, Mr. Hawkins, the very man.
Morning, sir. Just popped in, so to speak.
And just popping out, I hope. Isn't it just? Everyone wants you.
There's a hard gaggle of people in the central lobby. Who are they?
The tourists, most likely, sir.
Too many briefcases.
Could be that lot from up north, you know, that factory takeover, what's his name? Mr. Wigton's group.
He's back already.
Seen him just now, said he'd come down special, so to speak.
The return of the terrier, eh? Many thanks. Now, Rose, what are Laram's consternations and calamities?
Well,
I'll be getting on there. You this morning, sir. Very good, if you don't mind me saying so. Gave that red what's-name joker what for?
I see. I hope I wasn't too aggressive.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. Didn't mean that. You just showed him who's boss, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, sir. I was just telling Rose, sir, my old mum used to say...
see you later, Arthur.
What? Ah, yes. Well, I'll be off then. Half an ounce a packet of licorice, was it?
Green, thank you.
I fear we'll never know what his old mum used to say.
Live through the rest of today, and you will.
What's the parliamentary equivalent to a stage door Johnny? I'm surprised he doesn't bring flowers and chocolates.
Number 10 wants you. Private office. Shall I... Shall I...
From the sound of it, perhaps flowers would be too ironical.
Oh, God. Shall I get them?
Not to worry, I'm just going over to 12, unless it was urgent.
Don't mind me saying so. I'd have thought everything was urgent today.
On these occasions, a sense of urgency is but one step from panic, so let us hope not.
You did warn them months ago.
And we both know what the scriptures have to say about prophets and mythology about messengers.
Does that mean there'll be changes?
We shall see, we shall see.
Thought I'd say me piece, that's all. If there were, well, you know.
Don't be so morbid.
Quite frankly, Mr. B, if you go, so do I.
You won't get much inspiration from a bit of marble.
What? Well, hello there. Perhaps not. I was just thinking, I pass old Gladstone here almost every day of my life, and I never stop.
I don't suppose he's offended.
I imagine it's partly embarrassment. One's expected to be blasé about all this sort of thing. Him, Lloyd George, Churchill and the rest.
Or indifferent.
Oh, senior members and all that. You wait till the new lot arrives. They'll want to look at all this, the paintings, the ceilings, statues, but they'll be so keen to appear worldly and part of the house as quickly as possible. I wonder. I hope they'll let themselves be thrilled by it all.
Hoodwinked, you mean?
Hope I don't.
You think it's like the first day at bloody school.
I suppose there is a connection. I do remember similar feelings, being rather overawed by the senior boys and the traditions.
The only tradition at North Road Secondary was a fat lip on the first day and a pair of blue overalls on the last.
You haven't done so badly.
Don't give me that crap. I'm here because half my old schoolmates are on the dole, and you're here because your lot put 'em there.
There's something in the first part of your thesis.
You didn't have the guts to say that to Macclesfield Man this morning.
My dear Dennis, at times like this, politics are about stout hearts, not bleeding ones. Anyway, I hear you have visitors.
Oh, spies reporting in already, eh? Well, my job here is about real people. People being shut out of their places of work. It's not wandering about dreaming of bits of marble.
I thought the election campaign was over.
You've got to be joking. It's just started. You don't think you're going to survive on this majority, do you?
I believe we shall. It's been done before. And your people aren't exactly known for sound strategic thinking and tactical unity.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't bet the family silver on it.
I deal only in certainties. Your hypothesis sounds a rank outsider to me.
Does it, hell? Look at your lot of duffers. I reckon 10 of them will be alt, lame or worse given a spell of bad weather. Then see how they vote. Stretchers at the bar and all that nonsense, is that it? I tell you what.
Excuse me, Mr. Bannister. They phoned again. Could you call as soon as possible?
Oh.
It's not the telephone, it's probably the alarm bell. Couple of months and your lot'll be out on your lousy necks. And all these statues and gooky gargoyles will laugh their famous heads off. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some real people to talk to.
Don't you think plover eggs are a bit OTT?
They have a texture of their own. A little relish. Perhaps some brie. Yes, some brie and a glass of Hermitage. A simple but perfect lunch.
Uncle Hen, I think you're a Sood.
You're too young to find people so tiresome. Everything should be a delight at your age, even in this place. I shall give you some.
Actually, I like the food hall here. It's got nice smells. The rest of the place is dull, typical middle class.
It comes with royal appointment, my dear, the ultimate middle-class accolade.
Isn't that treason coming from you?
Only if I'm heard in Pinner or Coombe, those enclaves of paper napkin values.
God, you are a snob.
Not really, but I can imagine why you may think so.
Those days are numbered, you see.
Ah, so the prophets were banging at the doors last night, were they? The people have spoken. I think not.
Last night was about democracy.
The opiate of the ruminative. You must remember, Polly, efficient government has nothing to do with democracy.
Someone has to vote the government in the first place.
And once the vote's counted, democracy hibernates.
Oh, so cynical. Even Daddy knows things are changing.
Nonsense. His majority hardly stirred. Your dear father has little to worry about from the spitting classes.
You can be so despicable.
Henry! What a lovely surprise. What are you doing here?
Buying plover eggs for his lunch while the rest of society burns.
And by the looks of it, winding you up again. You never learn, do you, Polly?
I was merely observing that successful democracy is benign dictatorship. And now, dear sister, how goes it? The great English novel?
All done. I've just seen the jacket. It's something else.
So's Uncle Hen. He's being a pain, and that's because he's scared.
Stop it, you two. This is hardly the place for political infighting.
Daddy campaigned in Sainsbury's and Tesco's.
Ah, a man of the people indeed.
The election's over, Polly. It would be nice for 1 minute to think of nothing else but something tasty for dinner and a good film.
Fat chance. There'll be nothing on the box for all those smarty PPEs pretending they know what they're talking about. Well, considering they all got it wrong, I reckon they all ought to be sacked.
Here, look at this. According to the Standard, the inquest started. And Daddy is on it.
Let's see.
One feels like taking to one's bed for the next 48 hours. It's all too much.
Don't be so affected. I bet some of your friends are already plotting the downfall of any opposition.
You shouldn't believe all of what the lamented Digger Wright tells. Some of our number have great respect for government, whatever its persuasion. After all, it does pay the bills.
Hey, listen. The Prime Minister summoned senior officials to Downing Street this morning and ordered an inquiry into what one official called the near-miss election. Panic.
I hardly
Hang
think
on. There is speculation that ministerial heads will roll in an effort to reassure party faithful that the Prime Minister is determined to alter policies. That yesterday received a strong no vote from the electorate. Isn't that marvellous? Heads will roll.
Such revolutionary spirit. You must have been pained even to vote for your father.
Daddy, that's really funny. You don't really think I voted for him, do you?
Oh, good of you to stop by, Charles. Have you had coffee?
No, thanks. I seem to have lived on the stuff for the past 24 hours.
I thought this a little more private than the tea room.
Almost empty. Most people are in the constituencies. Those who still have them, that is.
It's a rum business, Charles. Of course, there was hardly any shift in mine, you know.
Hardly a marginal.
Yes, of course. Oh, by the way, I thought you were very good this morning on the wireless.
A set piece, I'm afraid.
Yes, of course. Now, I haven't heard anything.
Anything what?
Well, from 10, I suppose.
The Prime Minister's only been back from the palace an hour or so.
Even so.
Should you have?
Oh, come on, Charles, you know what I mean. You've seen the papers. Heads will roll and all that.
You shouldn't believe all you read.
Yes, of course. Let's be straight about it, old man. I hear you're on this what do you call it, this What Went Wrong committee.
And?
Well, I simply want to get the record straight. My ministry's clean.
I'm not very sure what you're talking about.
The truth is, Charles, if the sheriff's looking for a scapegoat, it's not going to be me.
I don't think there's any suggestion that such goats are in season.
You think I'm safe?
I didn't say that.
No, right. Well, the truth is, Charles, I wouldn't want some of the little difficulties of last term to be held against me if my name does come up in discussions.
Ministerial responsibilities are far-ranging. That stuff about spending figures didn't look too good.
That was the Air Force moving the goalposts and the chiefs of staff fighting each other. You know that.
I thought your big reorganisation was supposed to have stopped all that sort of nonsense. Well, that's how you sold it in Cabinet, at least.
Should have been, but the CDS is a bit of a tosser, and the chiefs of staff walked all over him.
The Sheriff is a great admirer of the Chief of Defence Staff, and, well, it did become rather public.
Only among the cognoscenti.
Oh, really?
It's hardly my fault.
You are the Secretary of State for Defence. Or more correctly, were.
What do you mean? Oh, yes, of course. Ministers standing down at election and all that, sorry. Anyway, what I'm saying is...
Will I protect your back?
I wouldn't put it quite like that.
You never would, even at school, but I always did. No, I better be toddling. As you observed, there are things to be done, and I'm but a servant.
Yes, well, yes, of course. Charles, actually, there was one other thing.
Of that I've no doubt, but I really must get over to number 10, even if only to protect your interests.
Sit down just a moment, Charles. There are some of us who believe that the real fault lies above us. How convenient.
Some say that the sheriff has lost touch, perhaps confidence.
And you? Are you one of that some?
Don't come the mandarin with me, Charles. You know as well as I do that the sheriff's never really had the guts to pick the best people. Doesn't like opposition in any form.
Some have been beneficiaries of such caution, haven't they?
And good people have been sacrificed.
I sense it's a little early for bleating.
Some of us believe that if there is to be a sacrifice, then the choice is obvious. After a decent time, that is.
Who believes this?
Well, you probably know.
I probably do. But tell me, Dougal, have you designs on this star of office?
Well, naturally, I would only want what was best for the party.
Naturally.
I wouldn't have thought he has much support.
Oh, probably not. But he might have later. It depends when the revolution comes. That's if it does, of course.
Well, one sees him as a rather turgid, unimaginative soul, with at the most an exotic and very private taste in linen.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Henry. What you see on the outside is about it. I fear there is little depth to Dougal.
Then how are we to take seriously this extraordinary ambition of his?
Thanks. And even modestly ambitious members of the Cabinet must fancy their chances of leadership. It is, after all, a game of power.
Including yourself, dear heart.
I imagine he's anticipating indecision, if choices have to be made among the obvious people.
A trifle early for him to be seeing himself as a compromise candidate. Anyway, I'd have thought that unlikely.
Don't underestimate Dougal. He's intelligent enough to realise that if he puts himself up as front runner, then he'll be knocked down.
More eggs, my dear. I hadn't realised friend Baxter was so subtle.
No, not for me. No, you finished them. Not subtle, but he knows how the system works. Should there be a Paris revolution, there are 2 or 3 front runners, so...
And he's banking on a stalemate.
Once the race is on, there has to be a winner. And I suspect in the circumstances a bland, loyal member of the party may be better than a strong personality.
Well, what if one of the favourites blesses the parliamentary bookies? All is lost for our cultured Scot with his dreary undergarments.
True. But the odds are on his side for the moment. Still, may not come to it.
But if it does, dear heart...
He's worth £1 each way.
Come on, Julie. Give me a big smile up. Yes, that's nice. Hold it there. Lovely. And another one. Hey, now sitting down. That's right. Hold it there. Let's cross your legs up. Come on.
The star is born, eh?
Oh, hello there, Bannister. Makes you puke, doesn't it? Anyone would think this was a bloody gala premiere instead of the house.
I imagine it is for her. She's had quite a lot of exposure lately.
Are you trying to be funny? No, you're not, are you? Still, she got elected, and that's more than most of your lot did.
Right, Charlie.
I hadn't realised you were her minder.
Known her for a year now. She's been teaching my eldest girl, but she can look after herself.
At Oxford?
Why not? It's no longer an aristocratic twit factory, you know.
Thank God that's over. Pathetic creatures.
It never was that, Dennis. Good morning.
Hello, sorry about that.
Charles Bannister, welcome to the house.
Juliet Cameron. I hadn't realised the government sent its chief whip as a receiving line on these occasions.
He probably thought they'd all turned up for him. Come on, let's go in.
Of course, you're one of the 3 wise men.
Yeah, the Let's Find an Excuse Committee. I tell you, all you need to do is to read your flaming manifesto. You'll find all the answers in that.
Oh, wise or crass, I'm afraid few photographers would know me by sight, but then, if you'll forgive me for saying so, I'm hardly as photogenic. Morning.
Morning, sir. Miss Cameron.
Oh, well, at least you'll have no problems about being recognised by the constable here.
You can't blame them, it's what they're paid to do. Anyway, we didn't complain during the campaign.
Pictures don't win elections, policies do.
Tell that to Alec Hume.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Of course it's policies, but you have to publicise them.
2 apologies in 3 minutes, Dennis. You must take your protégé in hand. Before you know it, she'll be voting in the wrong lobby.
Listen, Bannister, a fixed vote isn't going to save your lot. I've told you that, and you know it. I should cancel your Caribbean holidays if I were you.
I must leave you. Calm now. It'll take much more than front-page pictures to launch another election this side of the recess. Unless, of course, you sell them at a profit. Nice to have met you. Bye now.
What's he talking about? Selling pictures?
Money, that's what. He's a shrewd old bugger, is Charlie Bannister. He knows down to the last farthing how much it costs to fight an election, and he knows that right now our lot hasn't got two brass ones to rub together.
I seen her just now. I think it was that Samantha Foxbird instead of a member.
Well, perhaps you'll brighten the place up. Could do with it.
Should have seen her on the box this morning.
Should I?
Disgraceful it was, legs right up to her eyebrows.
Must have been agony for you.
It's those settings they have. Deliberate like. Make 'em sit right back. That's when you can see right up their skirts. It's wrong.
It must have been hell.
Mind you, she was really good. Knew all the answers, very confident, you know.
Do I? Do you want that other bun?
No, thanks, Rosie, you have it. Go on. Yeah, very self-composed, so to speak. Should have seen her just now. Walked in as if she owned the place.
Where? St Stephen's?
Ah, just outside here, coming through the members. She was with your Mr. Bannister and that Wigton bloke.
They said she's very bright.
Oh, no doubt about it. As women go, she's very bright indeed, no doubt about it.
Oh, Struth. Oh, Struth. Was Mr. B coming in or going?
You must have missed him half a second. I reckon they use acorns for coffee in here.
In or out?
Of course, this place isn't like what it was when it was upstairs. What? Oh, he's coming back. Saw him coming through the gates.
Oh, I better be going then. He's been over at number 10 all morning.
Bit of drama then. They say there's going to be a bit of a shift round, so to speak. Couple for the chop, maybe.
And who do they say is being shifted?
Could be a couple of them. But Ted, you know my brother-in-law. You know him who got me
got
in.
you in here in the first place.
Yeah, well, it's better to have people you know, especially nowadays with all the security, so to speak.
What does Ted say?
Well, he seized the Home Secretary in the Ways and Means about an hour ago with a face as long as the M1.
Did he now?
Too right.
I must be off.
Mind you, he had it coming with all that law and order stuff. Couldn't have done them much good, so to speak. Mind you, you're Mr. Bannister's safe, don't you reckon?
Is that what they say?
Oh, yes, my love, oh, yes. One of the old school, Mr. Bannister, so to speak. One of the old school, not like these flippant estate agents we got in here nowadays.
It's only a novel. Even that's a rather grand description.
Then if there's nothing in it, why have you never shown it to him?
I promise you, Polly, it's nothing more than a fun thriller. OK, so it happens to be set in Whitehall, but the people aren't real, so I don't see the problem.
It doesn't just happen to be set in Whitehall. Anyway, you haven't answered the question.
I suppose because when I started writing it, I was a bit embarrassed. I'm not a writer. I didn't want anyone to think I was, well...
Pursued?
I suppose so. Anyway, I rather kept it to myself, and then I got to the point that I thought it might be worth it, and it seemed too late.
A bit like not getting round to saying sorry, so you never do.
Not exactly. I'm not apologising before it's published. But I know what you mean. Oh, I wish you wouldn't, Polly.
Oh, you sound like Daddy.
I thought young people didn't smoke nowadays.
You'd be surprised what young people do nowadays.
I hope not.
For someone who's about to shock the nation with her revelations, you sound like a great prude.
Oh, do I? Well, I suppose from pseudo to prude in 2 minutes isn't bad going.
Finding your way around?
Hello again. I hope you're not following me. The silver's quite safe, you know.
The Whips have an office just over there. Oh, but you must have been through here before, in the recess or sometime?
Once, but I didn't know it was the members' lobby. My father brought me down for what he used to call the half-crown tour. We must have come through here to look into the chamber.
I knew him, you know. He was my tutor.
Another one? That must have been before my time.
No, you were just toddling.
Still before my time.
We never really kept in touch. I'm afraid I wasn't much of an historian. He must be retired. Still in Oxford?
Yes, but only just. He doesn't do very much, especially since my mother died.
Hello, Charles. Well done.
He's going to miss you. And you. A word later, if I may?
I'll stop by.
This place is very demanding. You'll find it quite different from high table, tea at 4:30 and sherry at 7.
Your views of Oxford are about as out of date as your politics.
As you said, it was all before your time.
And now you're rather grand. I'm surprised you have time to gossip to a fresher.
Well, that's what this place is all about. Gossiping with those who pass, if I may quote a venerable member.
Charles, there you are. Have you a moment?
Talking of which...
But not of whom.
I'll leave you with Lloyd George and your friend.
I suppose you've heard. About you?
Of course. Who else?
Of course, who else? I believe you're to be congratulated.
Most kind, most kind. Anything to do with you?
I'm confident it was a sensible choice. You'll sit well in the Home Office.
I regard it as promotion, of course. In the scheme of things, that is.
You mustn't forget, Dougal, only one person has a scheme of things for the moment, anyway.
Oh, of course. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate your help.
Godfather James, I didn't mean me.
No, of course, but I thought... Anyway.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Yes, right, of course. By the way, who was that? Don't I know her?
Miss Cameron, or rather, there, Miss Cameron. I think not. But I'm sure you will.
You know, dear heart, this is the most civilised park in London.
Being overlooked by the Foreign Office, Horse Guards and Number 12 does give it a certain cachet, I suppose. But there's always Regents.
Perish your thought, dear boy. Taken over by the cousins. They do nothing but jog around it, across it, and I shouldn't wonder under it.
Tunnelling to get in or out?
One can't move for them in their funny American shorts, smelling of embrocations and glistening with all the symptoms of pending cardiac arrest.
Any reactions from your people?
St. James's has dignity and superior ducks. Besides, it's within easy reach of one's club.
Reaction?
Quite extraordinary. Why couldn't the MOD have kept him? The man's a dullard. Thought he was ideal.
All sorts of reasons. Couldn't control the chiefs of staff. Frightened of his PUS.
He'll find it easier at the Home Office.
Different.
They'll not let him in.
That would be a mistake.
Oh, law and order, the plods, narcotics, that sort of thing. Yes. But the clumsies over at 5 will keep him at a distance. No Gower Street lunches for the Dougal of MacDougal, I fear.
Blandness has its advantages.
Very true, dear heart, very true. But to be trusted? Presumably he casts still his eye at number 10.
Is that so wrong?
Certainly not, in the right person. Presumably the sheriff's master plan is devious.
Dougal replaces Geoffrey, Geoffrey goes to Northern Ireland, and Morton to defence.
Ah, Morton. Yes, I'd forgotten about him. Very neat.
Geoffrey's on a hiding to nothing. Morton goes to defence, from whence no Prime Minister since Macmillan has emerged. And Dougal's so busy, he'll have no energy left for plotting anyone's downfall other than his own.
And the party faithful are satisfied that something's been done.
Exactly.
Devious indeed. But all the sheriff's own work?
Why do you ask?
You seem remarkably sure of the plot and counterplot. I thought, only for one moment, of course, that perhaps you, shall we say, had a hand in it.
Shall we not?
Of course not. Lunch, I think. Your club or mine?
The reform seems somewhat appropriate.
Absolutely, dear heart, absolutely. By the by, I hear you bumped into the new girl today.
And who told you that, I wonder?
Wasn't her father your tutor at Oxford?
You know he was.
So I do. Did he ever, ask you any, how shall we say, blunt questions?
What makes you ask?
Oh, just a little matter that's come up. Nothing really.
Really?
Well, dear heart, almost really.
In that episode of The House, you heard Julian Glover as Charles Bannister, Timothy West as Dougal Baxter, Sarah Bedell as Mary Bannister, Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colvil, David Ryle as Dennis Wigton, Siobhan Redmond as Juliet Cameron, Sheila Reid as Rose, James Garbett as Arthur, and Ruth Gemmell as Polly Bannister. Brian Redhead appeared as himself, and the newsreader was Laurie Macmillan. Other parts were played by John Bull, Ken Cumberledge, Ian Targett, and David Googe. The House was written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. The House by Christopher Lee, starring Julian Glover as Charles Bannister and Timothy West as Dougal Baxter.
Oh, God. Who on earth? Charles. Charles. Oh. Hello? Henry? What's the matter? What time is it?
Henry, what happened?
Shh. What? Of course he's here. Hang on.
Hello? No, that's right. I was at the house till 2:30. What? Oh, hang on. Let me think. No, can't. Sorry. Tea? 4 o'clock? Yes, all right. What? Right. See you then. Bye.
What's happened?
7:15 in the morning and he's thinking about lunch. No wonder he's the size he is.
He's coming to supper this evening anyway. It must be important if it can't wait till then.
Nonsense. He's always inviting himself to the rag Wednesdays. It's the tea cake. What the hell's that?
You're both a couple of old club bores.
Something's there. It's the kitchen. You stay here.
Oh, my God. That's all he needed.
Oh, my. Hey, what the place is? Hey, come here. It's a blasted dog.
Oh, get off! Get off, you stupid devil!
There's muck everywhere.
Oh, dear.
Come here. Sit down. Will you
What
sit?
the thundering blazes is this?
Well, he's not quite a Briard, is he, Mummy?
I can see what he's not. What's he doing here?
Shall we make some tea?
I'm looking after him. His name's Worcester.
What do you mean, looking after him?
Well,
Where'd he come
actually,
from?
He's mine, isn't he, Mummy?
Well...
He's a friend of mine. It's a friend of mine at college gave him to me. They wouldn't let him keep him, so he's only got a bedsit, so I said we'd have him.
Here? You must be out of your mind. He isn't even house trained.
Well, he's only young yet.
The kitchen's revolting. It's covered in poop.
It's not his fault. It frightened him.
It stinks. You can't treat this flat as if it was the farm.
Well, we'll take him down there at weekends.
And what happens during the week?
I'll take him for walks, I promise.
You're at college most of the day. When you're here, it's only to change or eat. Sorry, Polly, it's not on.
Oh, you can't just throw him out, can he, Mummy?
There's a perfectly good dog's home at Battersea. You take him this morning, they'll find him a good home about 5. They always do.
Oh, look, he's frightened, Mummy. You said he could stay.
I said ask your father.
When you've got a place of your own, you can do what you like. Keep llamas and anacondas for all I care. He goes. Meanwhile, perhaps you'd like to clean up the kitchen?
It's not her fault, Charles.
Is it mine? Now, unless you've got a platypus in the bathroom, I'm going to have a shower and get to the house for a little peace and quiet.
That measures to be laid shortly before the House will, Mr. Speaker, go some way towards resolving the problems outlined last week by my right honourable friend, the Prime Minister. Furthermore...
Order! It cannot be seemly for right honourable and honourable members to behave in such a way, especially on such an important matter. Mr. Secretary Baxter.
Law and order, Mr. Speaker, cannot simply be a matter for legislation. It is maintained also by custom, practice and example, which members opposite would do well to remember.
Order now. Mr. Wigton.
Number 5, sir.
Information gathered on individuals for security reasons is strictly limited to extreme cases. For the same security reasons, it is not in the national interest to disclose such figures. I might add that this has been the practice of successive governments.
Mr. Wigton.
Is it not true that private inquiries into the activities of members of the public are on the increase?
Now what's the mindless little stoat on about? Private inquiries? Meaningless. Substantiate.
From the Defence Ministry was designed to bring in someone who's used to letting clandestine organisations get on with dirty deeds while he keeps things quiet.
I have no idea what the honourable member for Aldring means by private inquiries. Unsubstantiated statements can be of little relevance in this place. As for my previous role, I resent strongly his insinuations and demand that he withdraw them immediately.
Mr. Beresford.
Would my right honourable friend not agree that the workings of the security forces of this land are carefully monitored and essential to our democracy, and something in which we can be justly proud?
While continuing the practice of all governments of never discussing the workings of elements charged with preserving national security, I nevertheless thank my honourable friend for the sentiment of his observation.
Miss Cameron.
Where the dickens did he spin from?
Saved you answering at least.
The House's assurance that no member nor potential member of the Select Committee on Defence will be investigated by MI5, MI6, the Special Branch, nor by any other agency of the government.
Now, who's put her up to that one?
So kind, dear boy. Such sensible teapots here. And free-range tea instead of those nasty surgical bags of floor sweepings.
Only a matter of time. Have the other tea cake, Henry.
Oh, I couldn't possibly.
You could. You always do.
Well, perhaps simply the one. Anyway, dear heart, from all you say, it was the fragrant Miss Cameron rather than the unspeakable Wigton who upset him.
You mentioned her father the other day. Something dubious?
Did I? No, so I did. Another time. I'm afraid we're more interested in our friend.
I can't think why. Committee members have nothing to do with your people.
Not entirely true. It depends somewhat on the excursions and shopping expeditions they have in mind.
The Defence Committee, by definition, is always likely to look at sensitive issues.
So, sensible then if our friend were kept at arm's length.
You're out of line this time.
Oh, there's nothing official, you understand.
Is there ever?
Oh, of course not, dear boy. But as ever, there are reasons. Otherwise we would never think to... Well, you know.
This hasn't even got as far as the Committee of Selection, so I'm not sure you've any reason to worry.
So, much better if his name were left off.
It would cause one hell of a row.
Ways and means?
Not at the moment. Anyway, Wigton's hardly the first radical to get on that committee.
You know they'll be looking at GCHQ.
They may.
They will. It was left over. And, I hear, the new torpedo.
Do you now? I don't think any decision's been taken.
Come, dear boy. Given the chance of a juicy inquiry, of course they will. They love it. A bit of travel, and headlines, or even the most obscure MP at the end of it. It's all beyond their resistance.
It's also beyond your brief to interfere.
Perish the thought, not interference. Simply suggesting that our friend should not be allowed access.
Wigton's no crypto-pinko. He may be a pain in the backside, but nothing more.
I'm not for one moment suggesting that he'd pass information to the less desirable of the international community, but his tendency to fuss about sensitive matters could make life difficult.
Oh, Cheltenham? Benhall?
Well, always a difficult matter.
Hardly thought there was much new to say nowadays.
It's a matter of delicate presentation.
And relations?
Perhaps.
You mean your CIA friends in Washington?
You know how sensitive the cousins can be. Question of confidence.
That's all sorted out, surely.
Confidence is easily upset. The cousins believe in polarization. Unlike us, America is a nation without the term left wing in its political vocabulary. To them, dear boy, it means but one thing.
But if you're nominated, how can they stop you?
You got a bit to learn about this place, Jules. Happen they can, happen they can't.
I thought it all went before the Committee of Selection, and if there was no serious hassle, that was it.
Oh, there's hassle and there's hassle. They're already saying that being in CND disqualifies me. I'm not the first they've tried that on. Here, have a biscuit.
God, I hate these fiddly little packets. That's like saying being a member of Bupa means you can't be on the Health Committee.
Not to be trusted with sensitive information, that's me. They think I'm a raving red.
Is that why you think MI5 or someone's investigating you?
Oh, I'm not bothered about that. They tap more phones round here than you can shake a stick at. No, they think I'd vote for Stalin if he came back.
You do tend to encourage them, don't you?
I'll ignore that. Now, you see, Jules, half that defence committee's trained not to ask questions. The other half hasn't a clue what to ask anyway.
Surely they get advice.
Oh, the committee clerk's a wizard, brilliant. He gets in advisers by the bucket load, but members have to do the asking and ask all the follow-ups.
But if the chairman knows his stuff, then...
Exactly. And there's going to be some infighting over that as well. They're going for a yes man.
I just don't believe it's that important.
So right it is. When someone's trying to keep you out in this place, you can bet your last brass farthing they're on the make.
Who is, then?
Baxter, for a start. I reckon his slimy paw's in this somewhere.
But the Home Office isn't covered by the Defence Committee.
But if we pick the right subject, it'll cover the time he was Defence Minister, won't it?
I really don't see what it has to do with me now. I just wanted to know if I had your support.
We both know that a word dropped in the right place can save everyone a great deal of time.
Yes, of course, but I couldn't possibly be seen to intervene.
I was thinking of being heard rather than seen.
But surely you'll get the chairmanship again.
Well, that committee needs a strong man, especially if Wigton's going to be on it. Frankly, I can run it. And it may be in everyone's interest that I do.
Of course. But just supposing Wigton isn't.
Just supposing would be dangerous. We're in no position to make a fuss about him.
Is CND a bit of a lefty?
True. Could be a problem with classified evidence, but keeping him off will cause more. Anyway, he knows the business. He actually reads that CND stuff.
Oh, utter propaganda rubbish, pamphleteering of the first water.
Maybe propaganda, but not rubbish. No, Wigton might actually be useful.
Knowledge and responsibility are sometimes less than reconciliatory, is that the right word?
It's interesting how responsible some people become when they join committees.
Oh, really? Not that dreadful stoat.
We need a strong committee. There are one or two issues I want to get my teeth into this session.
Of course.
Look, I hope I'm not interrupting, but I wanted a quick word.
Just a quick one, then. I was just telling Friend that the Defence Ministry was a thumb twiddler compared with the Home Office. I hardly stopped.
I won't keep you. I'm sorry, Michael.
No problem. See you later.
Yes, of course. And I shouldn't worry about that matter. I'm sure it'll resolve itself to everyone's satisfaction.
Wigton? Or shouldn't I ask?
Oh, why ever not, Keith? After all, it is, as you ex-naval people say, your part of ship. Tell me, you wouldn't have time for a bit of supper, by chance?
I'm not what I believe is called the doggy person. Apart from retrievers, of course. Invariably such sensible animals.
Oh, Worcester never thought he had to be sensible to survive.
However, this one seems docile and friendly enough. He does rather keep one's feet warm.
Be careful, or Charles may send you a floor mop for your birthday.
Sherry?
You're so kind.
That's cruel. I told you this morning it wasn't his fault.
Your father was concerned less about the cause than the effect.
Thank you. Ah, yes, a terrible shock. One of the delights of bachelorhood is being by oneself in the morning. To sense there was more in one's kitchen than coffee grinder and toast rack would leave one quite speechless.
Charles didn't say much, but what he did say was rather powerful stuff.
He was utterly prattish. He wanted to have Worcester shot by 5 o'clock.
Did he now? Yes, he is rather good at taking decisions.
Oh, Worcester, mind the trolley!
Oh, I said this damned animal was to go. Get off!
No, not the sort of greeting one would normally expect from a condemned soul.
I think he rather likes you, Daddy.
Before you ask, we rang the home and they suggested trying to let him settle for a couple of days. I promised to take him down to the country at the weekend.
Oh, very well, but keep him there, not here.
You really are typical of your lot. You pretend to be all green nowadays. You tramp all over the moors, say you love animals. But you're the same as the rest of them, a bunch of nymphs.
I thought I was nothing more complicated than a wrinkly. What the hell's a nymph?
Don't be patronising.
It's the latest polyism. Not in my kitchen.
Oh, God. The more I think about it, the less I'm hungry. I swear I can still smell the disinfectant. Now, where's it going?
You've upset him. He can't stand being in the same room as you.
Spare me from dogs, children, and committees. It's been one of those days.
Come on, Polly, give me a hand.
Gladly. Well, so much for the champion of a caring and compassionate society.
How's your drink?
Oh, fine, thanks.
Sorry I was late. Small-minded politicking is time-consuming.
Do I take it that Brother Wigton has been bothersome?
Not him. Everyone else. It's getting out of hand. Tonight's debate is all but ignored. Everyone wants to know what's happening to the committee.
You lose the vote?
No, we'll be all right. The minnows are voting with us.
I'd have thought they would have scented blood.
They don't much like the sight of it at the moment. If it went to a confidence vote and got messy, they're frightened we'd have to call an election.
Would you?
Not on a debate. But it would be difficult if we lost a confidence vote. The minnows don't want that. The nationalists might. They're quite capable of pressing every self-destruct button in sight. But the others know they couldn't afford an election.
Democracy's safe by default, eh?
Since when did you vote for democracy?
Dear heart, you do me wrong. One is perfectly content to have democracy thrust upon one.
Hence your democratic suggestion that we don't allow Wigton anywhere near it. Well, I can tell you that as from tonight, the plot has thickened.
Nearly ready. Time for one more slurp and we'll go in, yes?
Oh, I can hardly wait.
Uncle Hen's idea of bliss is food and more food followed by food.
Where's that blasted dog?
I'm guilty, dear Polly, but as you so sensitively observe, blissfully so.
Don't worry, Charles. He's asleep in the kitchen.
Thickened, you say?
While we've been looking at ways of diverting Wigton, somebody's started a lobby against Michael Friend.
Surely not. An ideal man for the committee. Ex-army. Eminently sensible for all that.
Oh, he's safe in that way, but someone's trying to scupper him from the chairmanship.
Wigton, obviously. I did warn you, old thing.
No, not Wigton. I'm not sure who, but it's not him.
Oh, no, not Worcester.
Oh, my God, I'd forgotten. The trifle. Please, Worcester, tell me you don't like trifle.
Presumably you put her up to it yesterday.
Don't be so flaming insulting. She knows what she's about, that one. Any road, I don't need a woman to ask on my behalf.
Of course, I didn't mean to suggest that you did.
Yes, you did, and no, I flaming well didn't.
I did, Dennis. It was only an observation.
Well, Baxter, it was a daft one. But then I wouldn't have expected much else from the likes of you.
Now who's being unfair? Just let's forget it, shall we?
I didn't raise it, you did. And she had a good point.
I can assure you.
Assure my backside, Jules had a good point. I reckon you lot would put a tap on your own mothers if you had a mind.
You have my personal assurance that as far as I know, there is no investigation into you or any other member.
Let me tell you something. If I find some goons listening in or steaming my mail open, I'll raise Cain inside and outside the house.
There's no earthly reason why there should be.
I heard that planted pansy Beresford coming up with a cop-out about security being essential to democracy and all that
Oh,
twaddle.
rubbish. That was nothing more than a boy wonder saying what he thought he should.
Beresford's a pillock.
Yes, I'm inclined to agree, but that's another matter. All I wanted to say
Come on,
was...
Baxter, what's your bloody game? All this Dennis, I can assure you, rubbish. The only thing you assure me is that you're up to something.
Sometimes you act as if you have a long and exclusive lease on decency and that everyone else is on the make. I'm trying to
Balls.
tell you... just let me finish. I'm trying to tell you something that as Home Secretary and as a member of another party, I have no need to tell you. The word is that you think there's a campaign to keep you off the Defence Committee.
I know damn well there is.
Well, I think you're wrong.
Oh, aye?
However, should there be, then I want you to know that if I have anything to do with it, it won't succeed. What's more...
Come off it, Baxter.
What's more, as far as I'm aware, there is no one on our side trying to keep you off.
And Santa Claus rides a 650 Norton.
In fact, I must say, as an individual, I think you'd be a first-class member of that committee. It needs someone of your, frankly, your style.
You're making me weep.
I doubt if anyone has managed to do that lately. For what it's worth, if anyone should seek my advice, I would support you.
Why?
What?
You heard, why?
Well, and don't forget, should there be a new chairman, well, he would need the support of a couple of well-informed members such as yourself.
Far as I understood, Friend's got the chair.
Perhaps it's time for change.
Oh, yeah? And who might the change be, then?
Well, it's hardly up to me, Dennis. In fact, nothing to do with me at all.
Go on.
Well, as you ask, I would have thought that Keith Chadwick would make a fist of it.
Chadwick? Daft as a brush. He wouldn't say boo to a goose. Anyway, what's wrong with Friend?
It's late. I've got a terrace lunch today.
I asked you a question, Baxter.
You put me in a difficult position, Dennis. My only concern is that the chairman of such a sensitive committee should be, well, let's say, above reproach. Now, mustache. Glad we talked.
Oh, heavens. I've been far too busy to read the papers this morning, Rose. Besides, everyone seems to take a great delight in telling me about it.
Sorry. Just thought you'd be interested, that's all. Mr. Baxter's office was on. Didn't say what it was.
You better get him. Anything else?
Only Mr. Friend. Came in a couple of times.
What for? Who's his whip? Mr. Forsey, isn't it? Where's he?
Oh, he's gone to see Mr. Barker. Oh, that's another thing. He's back in hospital.
Oh, no. Heart again?
I think so. Mr. Forsey was on to the Westminster. They said they want to keep him for a couple of days.
Let Mr. Forsey know I'd like to see him as soon as he's back.
Mr. Friend? What shall I do?
Oh, don't worry. I'll see him around. Where's the order paper?
Here. I'll get Mr. Baxter for you.
What did they say exactly?
Said would you ring?
No, the Express.
Oh. Worcester gets a 3-line whipping. Then it's just about you saying the dog couldn't stay and how it could be put down for all you cared. Then they quote Miss Bannister.
Oh, my God, Father James. Go on.
Oh, according to this, she said... Worcester was going to be put down, so that's why I rescued him. But my father thinks charity begins in Ethiopia and not at home. Perhaps Bob Geldof can convince him that 4-legged strays deserve compassion.
That blasted animal. Let me have a look. Shut it in the kitchen. You should have seen...
What? I've been trying to get hold of you.
We were just ringing.
Do you realise some festering animal rights group has threatened you? They've sprayed your front door, Worcester Killer written all over it. Has the world gone mad?
Forget the stupid dog. What's all this about Friend and Wigton and goodness knows who else?
Forget it. According to my PPS, your rotten dog is about to come up in Prime Minister's questions.
Prime Minister find time in what is admittedly a busy schedule to ask the Chief Whip why he refused to allow a dog to lead a dog's life?
While the House obviously appreciates the humour of the honourable member's question, I hardly feel this is a matter for discussion. Order!
Mr. Speaker, sir, is it not clear?
Order! I must ask right honourable and honourable members to recognise that the time allowed for questions to the Prime Minister is short indeed, and therefore they should not waste time bringing forward extraneous matters that they know I will have to rule as out of order.
Mr. Speaker, sir!
Order now! Mr. Robertson.
A point of order, Mr. Speaker. Shouldn't the House be allowed to discuss the Chief Whip's dog on the grounds that it is of far more interest in the election than anything else he does?
Good old, keep this up 4 more minutes. PMQs will be finished. Another 4 minutes of this and I'll be finished, but I'll take that little mutt with me.
I do hope this is not another canine lost cause. All right, Miss Cameron.
Mr. Speaker, I suspect that most of this side of the House welcomes your observation that too short a time is allowed to question the Prime Minister each week. Considering the time taken up this afternoon by pet diversions, would you not consider extending this period for questions? And will this allow the Prime Minister time to say why a senior minister is spreading unsavoury rumours about one of his own government's honourable members?
I must say, Dougal, you do make it very hard for your friends.
Frankly, if you take the word of that leggy tart instead of me, well, I just don't know. She didn't even suggest it was me.
She didn't have to. Grace, when you have a moment.
2 ticks, Mr. Bannister.
Come on, it's me you're talking to, not some wet behind the ears backbencher.
Of course, I suppose you've had your spies at work.
People tell me things, Dougal. Now you do the same. What the hell's going on?
2 cups gins, is it, sir?
Thanks, Grace. Well?
The whole thing's out of context.
I sincerely hope so.
Do you know me, Charles?
Yes, I do. Too well.
There you are, sir. 2.40, please.
Hang on to the change, will you? We'll probably have an action replay in a minute.
Right you are, sir. By the way, Mr. Colvil was looking for you earlier. Said he'd be back.
Ah, thanks very much. Cheers.
Cheers. Your brother-in-law? I didn't know he was a member.
He's not. Drops in occasionally, that's all.
I don't trust these intelligence laddies. You never talk to him about, well, business?
No. Family, nothing more. Now, come on. What happened?
I've told you nothing.
Friend believes you were putting the poison in.
Oh, sour grapes. Simple sour grapes, just because I think he's the wrong man for the job.
The way I hear it, you suggested to Wigton, of all people, that Friend was less than reliable.
Charles, that is an unthinkable thing for you or anyone else to say. Why on earth should I say that?
Because a good rumour would get rid of him when you couldn't. Friend was unshiftable as chairman. Too much his own man. Yes?
You can't really blame him. A London flat's hardly the place for an animal.
There are bound to be accidents at first. He's got to settle down. Well, if he'd have been a refugee, especially in the precious constituency, Daddy probably would have found him a social worker.
The mood your father was in this morning, I think Worcester's best chance is claiming sanctuary.
His attitude is disgusting.
Who's he?
Sorry, Daddy. Daddy thinks that if there's one more dog on the RSPCA heap of carcasses, it doesn't matter.
I think you made your point this morning. How did you manage to get that in the papers?
I mentioned it to a friend yesterday who knows someone on the Express.
I see. Your father phoned. He wasn't very happy.
Oh, serves him right.
Well, if I were Worcester, I'd take a sleeping tablet tonight and keep out of my master's way.
He wouldn't dare chuck him out now. The papers would love it. They'd crucify him.
You may be right.
Right! I tell you, Mummy, 4 million readers can't be wrong. Worcester stays.
I still don't understand this great change of mind. Why are you backing Wigton?
I think I've found a way to screw Wigton for good, and his henchmen. We get him on the committee and let him leak harmless guff to the press.
The committee's looking at GCHQ, for goodness sake. Harmless guff?
Of course it is. With Chadwick as chairman, the line of questioning will be as benign as Evensong. He adores the chiefs of staff, GCHQ, and everyone else in that business. He'd never let the committee get anywhere near any embarrassing information.
You actually believe that Wigton would be happy with nothing but Mickey Mouse?
Suitably presented.
He's a very intelligent and fundamentally an honest man. Besides, that's an amazingly cynical attitude towards the committee.
Of course. The sheriff shares my cynicism. Oh? Select committees are nothing but ego trips for members and embuggerance factors for government.
I see.
Well, you know as well as I do that all those so-called fact-finding tours are nothing but jollies.
Well, they've done a lot of good work.
Oh, yes, my word. Look at the dreadful time the poor devils had when they had to go all the way to Nepal and Hong Kong to study the Gurkhas. Every scrap of information was available from the army and handouts right here in London.
Then why bother about Wigton and Michael Friend? I still can't see any sane reason to encourage Wigton to leak information, especially if it's low-grade ore.
For one so sage, you're remarkably naive, Charles. Listen. He leaks to his tame lobby correspondent, and it's spread all over the gutter press. Then we say, oh, how irresponsible. However could his party be trusted with the security of the nation?
This, even for you, is to say the very, very least unbright.
Oh, yes. Well, let me tell you something. The sheriff doesn't think so.
Really?
Really.
I don't believe it. You actually have the Prime Minister's support for this crazy idea?
Well, not in so many words.
And what does that mean?
Well, obviously the sheriff wouldn't give the official blessing.
That, I suspect, is the understatement of the week. My godfather, James. Yes, please, Grace. Same again.
Is he really that stupid?
I'm afraid so.
Thank God for a strong PUS.
What always does.
I take it you coaxed him toward the notion of abandoning his scheme?
It took me most of last night.
How tiresome.
Eventually the idea that if it went horribly wrong, the internal fan would blow clag all over him calmed him down.
Where does this leave Michael Friend?
Oh, he'll get the chairmanship all right.
That'll not please Baxter.
Right. He's convinced that they'll uncover all sorts of maladministration that went on when he was Defence Secretary.
Does it really matter?
Only here. The great British public doesn't give a tinker's cuss.
One relies on public apathy so much, dear heart.
I prefer to call it trust.
Then we shall.
The irony is that Dougal gave an impression that Friend was suspect, but he didn't actually say anything. So now Cameron and Wigton are discredited for spreading rumours, and Dougal's collected a halo.
Could have been most disagreeable.
Well, that's how he got where he is. His luck compensates for his incompetence.
Mind you, if his scheme had worked and Wigton had leaked classified information, well, it would have put the opposition back 10 years.
It would, wouldn't it?
But I still can't believe the Prime Minister agreed to the idea.
Absolutely, Henry. Of course not.
Absolutely, Charles. Of course not.
Tea cake?
At the Rag? How very agreeable, dear heart.
In that episode of The House, you heard Julian Glover as Charles Bannister, Timothy West as Dougal Baxter, Sarah Bedell as Mary Bannister, Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colvil, David Ryle as Dennis Wigton, Siobhan Redmond as Juliet Cameron, Sheila Reid as Rose, and Ruth Gemmell as Polly Bannister. The Speaker of the House was played by David McAllister, Michael Friend and the First MP by Stuart Organ, Keith Chadwick and the Second MP by Graham Blockey, Grace by Joan Matheson, and Nick Beresford by Rupert Baker. The House was written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. The House by Christopher Lee, starring Julian Glover as Charles Bannister and Timothy West as Dougal Baxter.
Here you are, Miguel. 6 ounces best rolling backer as advertised.
Oh, yeah? Where'd you get this, then? No thanks.
Go on, take it. It's not bent or nothing.
If it's not nicked, what you doing with it?
Rosie, that's not nice. Here, got you this and all.
Well, what is it? Gas spill?
Go on then, have a butcher's.
Oh, who told you?
Little Dicky Bird, didn't he?
Well, that's very kind of you, Arthur. My age, I thought I'd given them up.
Happy birthday. Here, I've got you a packet of green papers just in case you run out, so to speak.
Trying to get me to smoke myself to death, are you? Come on, where'd you get it?
I swear, look, I've got a mate on the boats down at Dover, that's where, OK?
And what's that? The ship's log?
Now, this is a bit of luck. I was wondering if you could do me a favour.
I knew there had to be a catch.
Mrs. Bannister's book, innit? The steaming side of Westminster and all that.
How'd you get it? Doesn't come out till tomorrow.
Simple. They sent copies to all the lobby reporters, didn't they? Well, a couple of them left ages ago, so I thought this one was spare, so to speak.
You know, you remind me of those blokes who always had nylons and coupons in the war. Now, if you don't mind, thanks for the card, but I've got work to do and you're not supposed to be in here.
Just a little favour, Rosie. Would you ask Mr. Bannister if he'd get his wife to sign it for me? You know, maybe write something in it.
From what I hear, she's written enough in it already.
Bit juicy, so to speak, is it?
Morning, Mr. Bannister. Been through yet?
Morning, sir. I just came in with a couple of messages.
Oh, yes, of course.
She'll be in any moment. He rang 20 minutes ago, said he was on his way.
Well, tell him I was looking for him, will you? Oh, you have a copy of the famous work. Having a sneak preview, are we?
Supposed to be quite something, sir.
His whole life's a sneak preview. I'll tell him you were looking, Mr. Baxter.
I wonder if we're all mentioned.
It's only made up, sir. Fiction, so to speak.
In that case, the answer's probably yes.
Worcester! Stop pulling! Worcester!
Considering that mutt's supposed to be Polly's, you spend an inordinate amount of time on the end of its lead.
Actually, I quite enjoy it. I must have walked miles this week. I'm getting quite fit.
See how you like it when it's pouring with rain and pooper scoopers become law.
Don't be disgusting. It doesn't become you. Worcester, heel. I think he's learning.
After 25 years, I know how he feels.
Nonsense. You were house-trained by a Scottish nanny. Nothing to do with me. I'm only your wife.
Not according to the papers.
It's just publishers' gossip. Nothing more than hyping.
Really?
Well, maybe there's something in it.
I see. Look, I don't want to pry. After all, you've written the thing, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would be a little useful to know just how many of the characters are based on people we know.
You've got your Chief Whip's voice on again.
It's simply that I'll probably be asked.
You could just read it. It's only a novel.
Trollope was a novelist.
How flattering. Eel! Worcester! They're only ducks, you daft animal, and they were here long before you.
Some people are particularly sensitive at the moment.
Great as it is a popular park this morning.
Ah, what a surprise, dear sister.
Indeed, Henry. What a surprise.
Such a pleasant coincidence.
Don't be so obvious. You, Richelieu and Walsingham have no record of coincidence in your daily lives, ever.
And Worcester. What a delightful family scene.
I can hear you cry, oh dear, what a pity, when I tell you I must leave. Worcester and I are walking over towards the palace and then home.
Oh, what a pity. But beware the guards in their sentry boxes, my dear. If our tabloid scribes might be believed, then it's the Tower for you.
I'll call later, darling.
If that's all right with Henry. Bye. Come on, Worcester. Come on. Good boy. We know when we're hardly wanted.
I take it this is no coincidence.
Delightful morning for a stroll, dear heart.
And?
Well, I was just wondering if Tony Melrose had crossed your path in recent days.
Melrose? Oh, not really. I see him occasionally in the Garrick, sometimes Wednesday lunchtime at the Rag.
Aha.
He's like a lot of people who lost their seat last time. I don't have reason to see him.
Wasn't a friend?
Hardly.
It may be in everyone's interests if you did.
What's your interest?
We think perhaps he's having some difficulty in adjusting to life without, let us say, ministerial responsibility.
Well, he had been in the house since '64. A lot of people find it difficult to adjust.
True, so very true. But we're just a little concerned by his pursuit of comfort and joy.
Indiscreet?
He has a friend.
Indiscreet?
A Romanian.
He did look after the Nomsovs.
We would hate to think they might be returning the favour.
It's the age of glasnost. Romanians are reasonably friendly.
Ah, yes, but this one's known to us.
A gasboard fitter?
Something similar.
Do you think Melrose knows that?
Who knows, dear boy, who knows?
I would have thought you.
They lunch and dine. The Romanian coffers appear bottomless. Your former colleague has recently been given to post-prandial expression of bitterness.
Oh, dear.
Next time you see him across a crowded room, dear heart, maybe even today, a wave and an invitation or two might revive his faith. I believe physicians call it preventative medicine.
Mr. Baxter's on his way over.
Well, at least it's not a coincidence. Do I have to look at these now?
I've replied to all the usual ones. Just need your marks. I've cancelled lunch with Mr. Friend, said we were sorry and all that.
Good, good. Remind me to say something to him this afternoon, will you? Right, that's it. I'll take the book home this evening. I didn't realise that Miss Hawkins was a literary gourmet, and a paying one at that.
Oh, he's full of surprises, is that one. Manages to come by all sorts of things.
It is army training.
Yeah. Must have been in a snatch squad. Oh, that's the lot. I'll take these now. Will it be all right if I'm a bit late after lunch?
Today? No, not at all. Oh, of course. Here. I was forgetting. Happy birthday.
For me? Struth. Oh, that's kind of you. You shouldn't have. Can I open it now?
Why not?
Ah, there you are, Charles.
Indeed, Dougal, and there you are. Come and join the birthday surprise. It's Rose's 21st.
Oh, yes, of course. How very pleasant. Happy birthday, of course.
Thank you. Oh, that's lovely, Mr. Bannister. I always like a drop of smelly.
Absolutely, very delightful. Now, Charles...
I'm glad you like it. I'll be over at number 12 later. Perhaps we can have some tea.
That'll be lovely. I'll save you a nice bit of cake.
Yeah, it's all very jolly.
Birthdays are meant to be.
Yes, of course. Now, Charles, about this book of Mary's...
Not another autograph hunter. She will be flattered.
What? No. I haven't read it, of course, but it seems that I might be in it.
Congratulations.
You know, that's not very funny. I don't mind telling you these are not times when one wishes to be lampooned.
Indeed, they're not. Most disagreeable.
Absolutely. Now, I haven't actually read the book. Of course I'll buy one.
Of course.
It's just that the newspapers are speculating.
Aren't they just?
You don't seem to understand the seriousness.
Oh, come on, Dougal. It's only a book. Fiction. Nobody's taking it that seriously.
But you must know that it's very near the truth about some people.
No, I don't. I haven't read a word of it, and Mary's never discussed it with me.
Doesn't that suggest to you that, well, some of us are in it? The papers certainly think so.
The papers see nothing more than a juicy bit of gossip. The publicity people are delighted, I'm sure. Now, don't worry. It's all part of the book-promoting business.
These are very difficult times. Things here are very delicate.
So you keep saying. But be realistic. Mary's not in the business of embarrassing me.
Well, of course not. You're her husband. But what about the rest of us?
Oh, that's my point. I don't know what's in the wretched thing, but she knows jolly well that any embarrassment would rub off on me.
With respect, Charles, women tend not to think so responsibly.
Nonsense. Anyway, it's nothing more than a political thriller. There'll be a bit in the papers for the launch tomorrow, and that'll be it. Probably be remaindered by Monday fortnight. Thought Wednesday's the Garrick for you. Just popped in for a haircut.
That'll be 160, Mr. Morrow. Oh, morning, sir. Club gin tea?
Hello, George. Yes, please. Oh, look, I'll get these.
No,
you won't. Here, take it out of that.
That'll be 320, sir.
I'm not on the bread line yet. I didn't mean that. What are you doing, anyway? Oh, this and that. Didn't I hear you had some international consultancy or something? I don't know. Did you? I remember thinking that, well, with your time at the FCO, it could be quite good. A nice little number, eh? I suppose so. Is it? Thanks, George. Why? Want a job? Cheerio. Just wondered, that's all.
Well, that's bloody decent of you.
I'm sorry.
Well, if you are, you're the only one. No one else is interested in a second-hand junior minister.
Why don't we lunch sometime? Maybe I can suggest something.
Why don't we lunch sometime? It's the standard get-out phrase. Translated, it means tough titty, see you around.
Let's have a look.
You don't have to, Bannister.
What are you doing on the 5th of next month?
That's soon.
Look, I tell you what. Mary's publishers are throwing a launch party for her book tomorrow. I don't really need to stay for it. Why don't we make it tomorrow? Late, say 1:15 here.
You serious?
Certainly. It'll be a good excuse for me to get away.
You're on. Okay, 1:15. Oh, your wife's branching out. I didn't know she was a writer.
Oh, I don't know. She once started a novel based on the life of Proust.
I'm impressed. What happened?
I don't know. I suspect the more Madeleine she chewed, the more she realised that dear old Marcel had beaten everyone to it.
Really? Actually, I'm not up on these things, but I've been doing some scribbling myself.
I see. Fact or fiction?
No, not fiction. Not bright enough. Actually, what you might call recent memoirs.
What line will you be taking?
Oh, you know me. Any line that'll make money. I've no literary ambitions, only financial ones. I thought a cross between Joan Collins and Peter Wright should do the trick.
How interesting.
Yes, isn't it? I thought you'd like that.
Worcester! Come out of there! Worcester, come away! Polly, call him! Worcester!
Well, you did call him. Come on, come on, there's a good boy. There you are, doesn't take much.
Stupid animal! Oh, Polly, look, have a go at that lot. We don't want it looking a complete pit when she comes.
Well, she'll probably think it's very artistic, bohemian chaos.
Well, that'll have to do. Why couldn't she have come to the lunch like everyone else?
Probably wants to do what they call an atmosphere article.
Is that what they call them?
Sounds right. Mind you, if she doesn't turn up soon, you won't be here anyway. Have you ordered a cab?
I could walk it in 20 minutes.
Famous writers don't turn up to their launch parties with squelchy shoes and dripping umbrellas. Especially at Groucho's.
What if no one comes?
I'll be there, and Daddy's coming, isn't he?
Your Uncle Henry permitting. They're meeting for coffee this morning.
You mean heart starters at that Turkish place in Shepherd's Market. Men don't meet for coffee. That's a female thing.
Anyway, I didn't mean family. What if nobody from the press comes? It'd be horrid. Totally embarrassing.
Well, is that why you wouldn't do the signing thing?
Well, just imagine sitting in Hatchard's and no one buying a single book, and me with felt tip all poised.
Of course they'll come. They travel miles for a free lunch. Anyway, all those articles this morning will pull them in.
There wasn't a single review of the book, just gossip. All they were interested in was which minister matches which character.
Seeing most of the characters are pretty horrid, it could be any of them. The best one was in the Express about the Prime Minister deciding to boycott it.
That was absolute rubbish. I can't imagine number 10's diary being empty enough to come anyway.
Don't you believe it? The press office don't want PM snubs Chief Whip's wife all over the tabloids.
I bet that's her paper saying she's not coming.
Well, tell her to push off.
No, 7049.
We would, wouldn't we, Worcester?
Oh, well, yeah, well, yes, I suppose that'd be all right.
I tell you what, we'll both go, eh?
Have you spoken to the publishers?
That'll smarten them up.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll wait to hear from them. Yes, okay, see you tomorrow then. Bye.
Don't tell me. Hatchards have found a cash customer.
They want me to go on the Wogan programme.
Really? When?
Tomorrow.
How vulgar!
It's glitzy, but not vulgar.
Well, it's hardly Melvin Bragg.
Do you think I should?
I bet the great dictator's never been on Wogan. Why not? You'll sell heaps of books.
What on earth shall I talk about?
Doesn't matter. He'll be watching your lips anyway. Oh, just turn it on. Be frightfully intellectual.
But, Polly, I've nothing to wear.
I can't believe it.
Oh, that's scalding. It seems perfectly feasible. He's simply a spiteful little man, being, my dear, simply spiteful.
What about his fun and games with this Romanian?
Less than innocent.
Nothing's happened.
Yet.
You're suggesting what?
Melrose is not an honourable man. He is not happy with his lot. He has a liking for single malts and a way of life beyond his means.
It's a crowded club that he's joined.
His wife regards him as a fool and calls him so in front of others. They rarely talk. She has a friend with whom she takes tea.
I didn't realise.
The scarcely good Mrs. Melrose has told him as much, and sadly, for these are sad matters, enjoys his wretchedness.
How do you know all this?
Charles, dear heart, please.
I suppose your lot have to. It's all pretty sordid, though.
We toil at your bidding, and for no other reason.
But still, nothing's happened.
With his Romanian drinking friend? No. In fact, the more I think about it, I'm inclined to think it won't.
So, there's some honour left?
Not at all. The man's without a single scruple. But the Romanians would pay little for the sort of information he may have after, 3 years as a junior minister? On the other hand...
A publisher might pay a fortune.
How perceptive of you, Charles.
Mind you, he may be kidding. Probably hasn't written a word.
Ah, but he has. After you phoned yesterday, we took the the precaution, shall we say, of taking a casual glance at Master Melrose's literary ramblings.
You mean you took to plumbing?
I have heard the expression. American?
He was at home last night. I called him to confirm lunch today.
He was at home in London. If only we'd known, it would have saved a friend of mine a most disagreeable journey. Such a boring highway, the M4.
Come on, Henry.
Melrose is a man of property as well as of parts. A small cottage in the Welsh hills. An ideal place to tap with one finger at one's memoirs, no doubt.
No doubt.
Oh, no doubt at all.
How far's he got?
Too far for an honourable man, dear heart. Far too far.
That's the third one that's asked.
I really shouldn't worry, Dougal. They'll make it up anyway, whatever you tell
He said
them.
he was from the Dempster column. They really are the dregs.
Come on, don't take it so seriously. It's just a bit of fun.
Well, you didn't hear the sheriff just now. Actually called me our own Fenton Matlock in front of everyone.
There you are, then. If the Prime Minister can treat it as a joke, surely you can.
Fenton Matlock. Sounds like a village in Dorset.
I just thought it was the ideal name for a Home Secretary.
Well, I don't mind saying, if you have a mind to write any more of these political thrillers or whatever they're supposed to be, I'd be grateful if you'd make it clear that I'm not one of your character models.
But you weren't. I'd finished the book long before you went to the Home Office. Anyway, Fenton Matlock is tall and slim, rather elegant.
Sorry I'm late.
I see. You mean I'm not in it at all?
Hello, darling.
Hello, Dougal. Congratulations, darling. You seem to have pulled in quite a crowd.
Sort of. What with the Prime Minister, Stephen and Dougal here, their minders outnumber the real people. It's like a policeman's ball.
In this part of the world, they probably thought it was a raid.
Well, at least the press will have something to write about. Where's Polly? Or is this all too freeloading for her?
They already think Dougal's the what-done-it. She's coming later. Worcester's taking her for a walk.
New boyfriend?
Similar habits as most of them.
Hello there. I don't think we've met. My name's Veer, Sunday Telegraph.
Oh, hello. How nice of you to come.
I'll get out of your way. I'm lunching at the club anyway.
Me too. Must dash. Bye. I'll give you a lift, Charles.
Oh, don't go, Mr. Bannister. It was you I wanted a word with.
Not today, thank you. This is the writer in the family.
I was just wondering how you felt about all these controversial MPs in the book.
I'm afraid I don't feel anything. To tell you the truth, I haven't had a chance to read it.
Charles, thanks very much.
Most people who do read it will think that the characters are based on real people. Some of them are a bit unsavoury, to say the least.
Are they indeed?
Well, I think Mrs. Bannister would agree. They're hardly goody-goodies.
It'd be a boring old book if they were, wouldn't it?
So you don't mind your wife picking out the more sordid side of Westminster?
It's her book, not mine, Mr. Veer.
That's the government's view?
I hardly think the government has a view on fiction, however well it's written.
So it's okay for your wife to draw on her own knowledge of friends in the party and cabinet? You don't mind an expert?
My dear man, this is a democracy, a free society. This isn't some tin-pot dictatorship. Within the normal bounds of decency, anyone can write books about whatever they like.
Oh, my God. No, Polly!
It's that blasted dog!
It's attacking the Prime Minister!
What about old Barker? It's about time he was put out to grass.
I don't think we're in the business of summary political execution.
Well, come on. He must be 70-odd. Kick him upstairs. He'd love it.
When the time comes, perhaps he would, but I don't think now's the time.
So, I'm on the scrap heap. Is that it?
You can hardly expect us to remove someone from a safe seat and give it to you simply because you couldn't hold on to yours.
What do you mean?
Which, after all, was by most standards reasonably safe anyway.
I didn't lose the bloody thing.
There was no other candidate.
Go talk to some of the others who dipped out. Our blessed leader lost the seats for us. Crappy policies, especially the law and order thing, and the public stuck 2 fingers up. Who suffered? Not the great and glorious sheriff. Oh, no. Suckers like me who had to face it out on the doorstep.
I hate to say this, old man, but as we are being rather blunt, perhaps if you'd spent more time in the constituency, you'd have held on.
That's the excuse, is it? Sling the blame at the local man and whitewash the OK Corral.
Oh, this isn't getting us anywhere. Financially, you must be okay. Directorships and all that?
Well, a couple of things, but nothing really worthwhile. And the longer I'm out in the cold, the less attractive I am to the big payers.
You knew that?
If people think there's no sign of you getting back, they put their money elsewhere.
It's a risk we all take.
Some of us. Oh, come on, look, I'm not a complete plonker. I had no family or business connections when I came in. I was a reasonable member. Maybe I spent too much time in the House.
You enjoyed it.
I wasn't too bad in the Foreign Office. Ask the private office. We used to shift a lot of work.
As I said, you seemed to enjoy it.
Janice didn't.
Yes, it can be a strain on wives.
Oh, yes. You don't know the half of it. I was hardly ever there.
I see.
Tell me, How would you feel if you found out 2 weeks before the election that someone was getting their leg over your wife?
This is becoming distasteful.
Damn right. And you know how I found out? She told me. Flaunting it, the little tart.
I'm sorry.
Yes, of course you are. It makes you feel uncomfortable. Some people live in a different world. You finished, sir?
What? Thank you very much, Frank. Thank you. Nothing else. We'll have coffee later.
Thank you, sir.
What do you want?
Well, if you won't get rid of Parker, what about the Lords?
Impossible.
Why? Others have?
Frankly, others have been deserving. Out of the question.
Well, all right. Perhaps the seat upstairs is the top end of the market. But there are plenty of other numbers.
And if not?
Well, then I'll have to get on with a little scheme of mine.
Your book?
I thought you'd latch on. Yes.
You don't think that would be disloyal?
Well, I wouldn't be the first to write his memoirs.
Depends what's in them.
Well, that's up to you.
Look, Melrose, there are certain bounds beyond which tolerance dissolves. Writing what I believe the press calls an expose is one of them. It's just not on.
Try me.
What if we went to law? Could you afford that?
I wish you would. But to guarantee 1 million copies. I could even afford Malcolm Turnbull.
You know, I don't see why you don't write one.
Don't be a pillock all your life. What do I want to do that for?
Well, why not? You make a bomb.
Always on the make, that's you.
Nah, seriously, Rosie, you could. You always said you'd like to peck your hand in, so to speak. Look after your mum.
It's truth. She'd be dribbling and incontinent before I ever got to write a book. Anyway, I wouldn't know how.
Don't give me that old twaddle. You've seen it all. Nothing goes on here without you getting sniffed.
Don't mean I could write it down.
Of course you could. Nothing to it. Be a doddle for you, like our what's name was a Queen's nanny or something.
Crawfy. Wasn't very nice, was it?
No, but things are a bit different nowadays, so to speak. People don't mind that sort of thing.
I mind.
But it all be true.
That's not the point, is it? There's some things you do and some things you don't.
Suppose a bit like telling a tale or two about the army. But I wouldn't, of course.
There you are, then.
Signed the Official Secrets Act, you know. But the juicy bits, the gossip, well, that's another thing, so to speak.
Oh, you know, Arthur, you and my mama get on like a flipping house on fire.
Do you really think so, Rosie? That'd be nice. How about you and me driving down to Herne Bay one Sunday, like, and have a cuppa?
Knock it off. All this revelation stuff's wrong, and you know it.
Maybe you're right. I suppose it's different for you, Mrs. Bannister. After all, she's only writing whodunit. Real thing, well, that's different.
What are you on about, then?
Still, it'd be nice to get a little windfall, so to speak. Buy yourself a nice bungalow somewhere, miles from anywhere, like Wales or something.
Oh, yeah. According to the news just now, you'd be better putting your spare cash in matches and firelighters, so to speak.
I hadn't realised you were a friend of his.
Hardly. Happened to meet him in the Rag. He's not doing anything in particular.
Sound man. Pity he went out. I'm sure something will turn up.
It may very well. What do you think?
I take it he's looking after the constituency. After all, mustn't let go. There's no such thing as permanent tenure.
He seems to think that something to keep him in the public eye might be of help.
Yes, of course. What had you in mind?
Haven't you a couple of commissions of inquiry to put together? Civil defence grants to local authorities? Perhaps the liaison committee on prison aftercare?
Well, hardly sparkling stuff for a good man, especially if he finds himself with a dry old chairman.
I was thinking of the chairmanship.
Oh, were you? Oh, yes, of course.
I'm sure he could be relied upon to guide his people to a sensible conclusion.
Absolutely. Do you want to drop me a minute on this?
Oh, rather not, Dougal. Better if it came from you. No other obvious candidates, are there?
No, of course. No. In fact, I hadn't really given it much thought. No, dull as dishwater, both of them.
As you say, it'll be worth having him on board again.
Quite a coincidence, really, you meeting him. Poor devil, I suppose he told you.
Told me what?
About his cottage. Oh, of course not. No, he probably didn't know then. Some buggers burnt it down.
Melrose's house?
No. He's got some hideaway in the Welsh mountains, or rather he had until about 4 o'clock this morning. Somebody got in and set fire to it.
How dreadful. Much damage?
Oh, I should say completely gutted. Terrible business. Most unfortunate.
I take it you didn't tell our quite uncanny Scot why Brother Melrose's interests are so close to your bosom?
Wasn't necessary.
How very clever, dear heart.
Not really. Dougal simply believes he's a good hand, and the sooner he's back in the house, the better.
Two of a kind, perhaps.
Oh, I doubt it. Dougal knows his own kind. Doesn't trust them one bit.
Brighter than I thought. Prison aftercare. How delightfully appropriate. Are we sure?
More or less. He phoned me last night. Apparently the PUS wasn't that keen, but it'll go through.
And Melrose?
We'll see. I told Dougal that he might have to oversell it with vague promises of greatness and glory. I think it'll do for the moment.
People have got their K's for less.
Perish the thought.
Indeed, indeed. As a small precaution, we're taking a closer interest in his, affair.
I don't need to know this.
Nor shall you, dear heart, nor shall you. However, let us say that I imagine we might find enough reason for the honours list safely to ignore the name Melrose.
Your man last night?
My man?
The fire.
Such a disagreeable incident. Everything destroyed, I hear.
Including his manuscript?
Safe.
You mean you have it?
As you so rightly observe, Charles, you don't really need to bother yourself with these matters.
Wasn't it somewhat drastic?
Surgical. So clean. And the sons and hordes of Glen Whatsit can, should they wish, take the credit.
Well, you can write it again.
He could. He may. Well, it's an effort.
I don't know.
Of course you don't, Charles. Of course you don't. How much nicer. Aren't they splendid, Must be nearly 11 o'clock. Time for a pinkers, dear heart. By the by, how's my dear sister's literary effort going? I see she made the front pages with that dreadful mutt slobbering over the Prime Minister. Damned clever, you know.
I suppose so. Oh, quite good, I think. They're talking of a film, Inside Whitehall or something.
Excellent. What fun.
All a bit far-fetched, if you ask me.
In that episode of The House, you heard Julian Glover as Charles Bannister, Timothy West as Dougal Baxter, Sarah Bedell as Mary Bannister, Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colvil, Sheila Reid as Rose, James Garbutt as Arthur, and Ruth Gemmell as Polly Bannister. The waiter was played by Stuart Organ, the journalist by Ken Cumberledge, George by Danny Schiller, and Melrose by John Fortune. The House was written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. The House by Christopher Lee, starring Julian Glover as Charles Bannister and Timothy West as Dougal Baxter.
Evening, Mr. Wigton. Just the one, then.
Right, there's a good lad. What are you having?
A tonic with ice and lemon, please.
Well, expect you'll be wanting a clean glass.
What's just the one?
Oh, that's young Eamon. He disapproves of my white shields, buggers to keep. Lots of sediment, so I just have the one. Just one at a time, anyway.
Ah. So, this is the famous drinking dungeon. Bit scruffy, isn't it?
One white shield and a tonic.
Here, let me.
No, you don't. This one's on me, as it's your first visit to the bowels of this place.
A bit further along the tube than the bowels, if you ask me. £1.65, please.
Nobody did. Anyway, you'd know all about that if it was.
Huh? Where you come from, they'd call this a nightclub. It's not called the Black Country for nothing.
Potteries, if you don't mind.
Potty's more like it. Come on, 165 or I'll call the police.
Go on, you daft bugger. Here you are.
Oi, Eamon, you organising a trout, you Irish git?
Cheers. You shut your gob or I'll tell them what you promised me last night.
Quite a character.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And you, welcome to Annie's. Oh, he's all right. He's like this place, scruffy as you put it, but you can find out what's going on here.
I spy stranger.
Hello there, Dennis. And this is about the only one of the cretins in here you can trust. You two met?
No, not yet. Jack Ross.
Hi, Juliet Cameron.
Jack's the Glasgow Sunday record lobby man. He knows what's what round here, and he keeps out of the gutter.
We Scots take our politics seriously. But seemingly with a name like Cameron, you'd know that.
It's not an exclusive prerogative.
True enough. I expect you'll be warming yourself for tomorrow's debate.
Why me?
Don't buy it, love. He's fishing.
Yes, but I'd have thought law and order was something you'd care about, being a sociologist.
Ah, you have been doing your homework.
I'll let the London papers do that for me. They've been quite revealing.
I beg your pardon?
I meant your background, not your other vital statistics, Oxford and that.
Any more, ladies and gentlemen? It's time for Dreamland.
He's winding you up, Jules.
Nonsense, man. Now, what'll it be?
No, thanks. I'm all right.
I suppose there's no point in asking you, Dennis.
That's right, there's no point. Stick to myself as usual.
Very noble, I must say, and very cheap man to drink with. Now then, what do you have to tell me?
You see, the blooming scoundrels are after something all the time.
Why not? Along with patriotism, you're our last refuge. It's nearly midnight, man. You don't think we come here for our health now, do you?
I tell you what, they're going to have to come up with a few answers tomorrow or they'll go down.
That'd mean everyone voting against them. Will they?
They seem confident.
They've nothing new to say.
According to Baxter, they have.
Baxter? What sort of own bloody secretary is he? He hasn't an idea in his head that didn't come from MFI.
That's not the way his piece in the Times reads.
I didn't see that. Did you?
It's in tomorrow's paper, full half page. You like it?
Well, I heck. Little creep been putting out advances, has he?
The first edition's up already. Seemingly Baxter thinks law and order starts in the home, not in the house. I think it's going to be quite a debate for a change.
I'm sorry I can't stay for long today of all days.
Glad you could make it at all, especially this time in the morning.
I really have the chance to get alongside you think tank people.
You should. Especially seminars like today's. Law and order's a big thing at the moment. Still, don't need to tell you that.
It'll go all day?
We finish at 6-ish. We've got more than 30 people down to speak. Hence this 9 o'clock start.
If it's any consolation, we'll be at it in the house until well after 10 tonight.
How do you think it'll go?
Close, but as the Americans say, we'll get the cigar. We should do it.
Morning, Charles. Hello, Bill.
Morning.
Sorry I'm late. Had something that couldn't wait.
No trouble. Just been reading your piece in the Times. Oh. That'll get them going.
Yes, of course. Few home truths never hurt anyone.
Surely your problem is that home truths don't stop mugging, rape and burglary.
My problem is that people expect instant solutions, and there aren't any.
Especially with a majority of 4.
Ah, here comes one solution anyway.
Anyone like some coffee?
Oh, hello. How are you?
No, thanks. I've had some.
So you have. Fine, just fine. Sir William, the commissioner's just arriving, if you...
Right, absolutely. Excuse me, I'll see you later. Stay as long as you can.
All right.
You remember Kay Bennett, don't you, Charles? Used to be my researcher years ago.
Of course, you're here now. What a coincidence.
Yes, isn't it?
Still researching?
That's right, on the Law and Order programme.
Strange we haven't seen you before. Mustn't hide your light under a bushel, you know.
Or in a cupboard.
Yes, of course. Well, nice to see you again. Bye now.
May I take a biscuit?
Certainly, people often do.
Well, perhaps some of Miss Bennett's research will interest you, Dougal.
Yes, of course. Shouldn't we be going in?
Oh, I hardly think my views interest Mr. Baxter.
Come now, that sounds too modest. I'm sure you've a lot to offer.
Well, that's for Mr. Baxter to judge.
He's just getting rid of his coat. Well, you two are having a morning of it. I was forgetting you and Kay knew each other in the house.
Oh, yes, that was ages ago.
I hadn't remembered until I saw you both in the Green Street coffee shop this morning.
Yeah, well, we happened to meet. Coincidence.
How delightful for you both.
Yes, of course.
I ask you, Dennis, what do you expect me to do about it?
Well, you're the chief bloody whip. If you can't tell them, who can?
I won't be sworn at, boy.
Well, it happened it's about time you started swearing at that slag heap that calls itself a press office. It's our flipping debate. It's a flipping opposition day. We're supposed to have 'em on the run.
One newspaper article isn't the end of the earth.
Look, mate, we forced the debate. We took the initiative. We're supposed to call the shots. So why didn't we have one of our blokes writing a big piece in the newspapers?
You know as well as I do how they control the press.
Oh, don't give me that rubbish, Murphy. That's okay for the public speeches in the box. You and I know damn well that if we've got something good to say, they'll print it.
You make it sound simpler than it is.
I'm saying that our press office has made a cock-up, and not for the first time.
It's not that easy.
Supposed to be all different once we got rid of that daft woman. This new bloke's just as bad.
Look, we're having a tactical reorganisation. I tell you, it's not that easy.
Nobody's saying it is, but we're supposed to be trying to get these buggers out so we can get in.
Anyway, boy, it wasn't much of an article. All that nonsense about parents ought to make their kids behave, then we wouldn't have so much crime.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Oh, nothing, boy. But anyone can say that, can't they? It's like saying turkeys don't like Christmas. We all know that. That's not very clever.
Then why didn't we say it? If moral decency picks up votes, let's go for it.
It's that Baxter who I'd like to screw. Lousy hypocrite he is.
Well, you won't catch him with his hand in the till. He's too damn smart for that.
Don't you be too sure, boy. Nobody's that clean, including him.
I didn't recognise her at first, and there she was with a tray of coffee.
Dark hair, no makeup.
That's right, pretty in a county sort of way.
Yeah, I remember. Laura Ashley with boobs.
Yeah, morning, Whip Charles.
Yes, well, I didn't know her really.
A lot of them about. Here for a year or so, then gone.
No, I'm sorry, but I'll get him to call you as soon as he comes in.
Sounds like another panic. Some of them never speak to their whip from one end of the year to the next. Suddenly it's all go, whips everywhere.
I expect he'll be back quite soon, okay? Bye.
We better have them in at 2:30.
Here?
No, don't, 12.
Mm-mm.
Was she popular?
Dunno, really. Must have been 10 years ago. I didn't see much of her. Didn't really see anything in Mr. Baxter. He was only a whip for a short time.
I think this was before that.
Suppose it must have been. I seem to remember she left after they all came back from that WEU thing in Strasbourg or somewhere.
Oh, did she?
Well, she might have done. Can't really remember.
Whip's office.
Mr. Baxter would know, of course.
It's for you.
Well, it's not important, really. Curious, that's all. Just curious.
Hello? Yes, speaking.
If anyone wants me,
Oh,
I'll
my
be...
God. She okay? Sorry? It's a shocking line. Look, what's your number? I'll ring you back.
It started years ago, shortly after she came here.
There's absolutely no need, you know.
It was bound to happen. You can't go on seeing someone without people knowing.
Not if one of them's the Home Secretary and instantly recognisable.
So much for the notion that only 2 cabinet members other than the Prime Minister are known to the general public.
I'd hardly describe old Sir William as the general public.
No, Bill? I reckon all that innocent stuff about, oh, do they still serve those delightful croissants, what a charming place Green Street is, was all poppycock.
There was a certain blandness that suggested mischief rather than innocence. There's nothing amiss with friendship, surely?
Yes, of course.
If that's all it is.
Or was.
Or is, Dougal.
Do you mind?
No.
Must be nerves. I normally wait until after dinner nowadays.
Making a speech and giving what is clearly an embarrassing explanation all in the same day are grounds for worse deeds than smoking.
You're a clever bastard sometimes, Charles.
Rarely.
You were the same at Eton. Always in the top 3 or 4, never a step out of turn.
Never caught would be more accurate.
Good, steady Charles, never Charlie, never Chas, always Charles.
The Fives coach called me Chuck.
Oh, McCobb called everybody Chuck.
So he did.
It's not easy.
Dougal, you really
When she
don't...
first came here as a researcher, well, things were different.
Very attractive, I seem to remember. Still is.
Ros was away a lot. You know what it's like for young barristers just getting started off to the provinces.
You couldn't have been married long.
3 years. We'd decided not to have family, or wait, or something, I don't know. Then Ros went abroad for 3 or 4 months.
Hong Kong.
Yes, that's right. Anyway, Kay and I, well, we became very close.
How close?
I've just told you.
I see. Ros never knew?
No, of course not. In fact, it had more or less died a death, and then we met up, purely by chance, actually, and, well...
Just like old times.
More so. Like a couple of kids, really. But now... that's not enough for it.
What's she want?
That was what this morning was all about.
I take it she's not...
No, nothing like that. Far too smart.
Then what?
She wants me to divorce Ros.
What's this bloody nonsense all about?
Nothing at all. One of theirs simply asked me to pair.
What do you mean, simply? It's a 3-line whip tonight. There's no pairing, you know that.
Of course I do. I really can't see what all the fuss is about.
It's a lousy try-on, that's what. They thought you were wet behind the ears.
Well, I'm not. Anyway, I told him to push off.
Who was it, any rate? Not that daft bugger Beresford.
He is my pear.
Trying it on, I tell you. What did your whip say?
I think he's out of his mind. He was rabbiting on about discipline. I told him there was nothing in it. Anyone would think I was about to cross the floor.
The way our lot are panicking, you might as well.
They're not panicking.
Bannister's lot never do. Even his junior whips have got it all organised. It's like a precision attack on the raw bloody dam. Our lot couldn't organise toothache in a toffee factory.
Well, the colour of Mervyn Edwards' face looks as if he's already got a raging abscess.
Way was going on 10 minutes back. It was you that gave it him.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
The chief whip is never ridiculous, my girl. He may look it, he may act it, but he never is it.
Oh, come on, Dennis.
Come on yourself, Jules. Chief whips are bastards, and them that's not soon are. This one's the biggest of them all, and he's a Burke on top of it.
Perhaps I should make my peace.
No, you hang on. Leave this one to me.
Morning, Dennis.
Bannister.
Hello, you.
Hello?
Heard from your father?
I spoke to him this morning. He sent his regards. He did remember you, you know.
Oh, how clever of him.
Oh, yes. You know what dons are like. They all remember the ones who make it.
And conveniently forget those who don't.
Until they do. Anyway, he's coming down. Perhaps you'll meet.
Why don't we lunch when he does?
I didn't think that was allowed.
We may be on different sides in this place, but that doesn't mean we have to be outside.
How remarkably adult. I leave you to explain that to Mervyn Edwards.
Oh, Mervyn's all right. Anyway, your father was my tutor. What could be a better reason for lunch?
You have precisely 7 seconds to think of one.
Now, what the hell's going on, boy?
Excuse me.
No, you wait a minute, Julie.
I thought it was Jules.
Only among friends.
What's that?
My dear Mervyn, what troubles you?
It's too damn cosy, that's what troubles me, see? What's all this nonsense about pairing with her?
I'm not with you.
Too right you're not, and you just remember that.
This is getting out of hand. It was nothing but Beresford being silly and trying to pair. I told him to forget it.
Now, you just listen, Charlie. You can tell your Filofax Nancy boys to cut it out. No deals tonight. And as far as I'm concerned, no other night either.
It was good of you to come.
It'll have to be quick. I told Sir William I'd be back by 2.
Right. I suppose you're...
Oh, my God, not that.
Not what?
You weren't really going to say, I suppose you're wondering why I asked you here, were you?
I suppose I was. I'm sorry.
I wasn't going to come.
Why did you?
Disbelief.
About what?
Well, I would have thought that...
Signore, you like to order? Okay?
Yes, please. What...
fettuccine Alfredo, please, and a green salad.
Grazie, okay. And signore?
The same, please. And some mineral water with gas?
Of course. Anything you like. Okay? Grazie.
You were saying?
Fettuccine Alfredo, okay?
Oh, nothing. It's just I would have thought it was obvious.
I see.
I remember when I worked in the house, you were always saying that. I see.
I hadn't noticed.
It's your neutral phrase. It saves saying anything that may incriminate you.
It's very difficult. You know why I'm here.
Do I?
Look, Miss Bennet, Kay...
Oh, knock it off, Mr. Bannister. Your entertainment value's drooping. What's he told you?
That you're,
Having an affair?
Not in so many words.
Well, Dougal never says anything in so many words. But I can see where he gets that from.
He implied that you feel that your relationship has come to a point that you expect him to make certain choices.
No.
I see.
No, you don't.
Apparently not.
As far as I'm concerned, there is no choice. I have, Mr. Bannister, for the past 10 years, been what is commonly known as his bit on the side.
Oh, I don't think that Dougal thinks of
But don't tell me what Dougal thinks. I know. I've heard him grunt, snore and babble. I know what he thinks.
Signore, the insalata verde and the acqua minerale.
Thank you.
Grazie, okay?
Thank you.
Prego, okay.
You were at school with him, weren't you? You know him. You know what a sod he is. He'll use anyone. Probably even you. I'm just saying he's not using me anymore.
You want him to divorce his wife?
Why shouldn't I?
It's not that simple.
It never is.
And if he won't?
I'll make him.
If you push this too far, well, it might not all go your way.
Meaning?
I imagine you rather like your work, a pleasant place and all that.
Oh, I wondered when you'd get round to the threats.
I assure you I'm doing nothing of the kind, but...
A word in the right ear and I'm out on mine, yes?
I just think it's better there's no fuss. These matters can normally be brought to some agreeable conclusion.
After 10 years, I happen to think it's about time he told her.
It's possible that he won't. Then what?
If he won't tell her, I will.
What good will that do?
I'll tell her about all those times in Strasbourg, about the other nights, the ones in her bed while she was away. See if she wants him after that.
I wonder if he'll want you. And if that doesn't work?
Which gossip column do you read, Mr. Bannister?
You coming into number 12?
No, I must see Mr. Baxter before the debate. But I'll walk with you as far as the steps.
It's truth.
Assuming you get that far.
Oh, don't. I really could do with Lent happening 3 times a year.
Well, that shag or whatever it is you smoke doesn't help.
It's real tobacco.
So it seems.
You sound like my mum.
Any more news?
Oh, she's all right, I suppose. Gave herself a fright, that's all. You do when you're 80.
Nothing broken?
No. They're keeping her in tonight. I'll go down and be there when she comes home, if that's okay.
Oh, don't rush back, will you?
Oh, thanks, but I'll be back Sunday night. If I stay any longer, she won't let me go.
She must be lonely since your father died.
Suppose so. Nice little bungalow in Herne Bay, they said. He was dead inside 6 months.
But you still won't consider a nursing home?
Wouldn't work. Wouldn't work.
Pretty stubborn, is she?
Not her. Me. I can't bear the thought of locking me mum up. Waiting rooms for the creme, that's what they are.
Oh, nonsense, Rose.
Oh, really I know what you're going to say. It's just me, though. I'm probably wrong, but I think it's up to me to look after her.
I see. I mean, I understand.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, Mr. Bannister. As Hawkins said, if you don't mind my saying, you're one of the old school, so to speak. You understand about loyalty. You know what's right and wrong.
There's absolutely no question. Apart from anything else, the last thing we need at the moment is a scandal.
I'm not quite certain when one is needed.
Look, I was rather hoping that we could cool this whole thing down.
Or that I could.
Well, of course, after all, you're rather used to this sort of thing. I mean, not exactly this.
Thank you for
that. You know what I mean, sorting things out.
And if she does tell Roz?
Oh, nonsense, of course she won't. Anyway, I still wouldn't leave her. I'd refuse.
She's still important to you?
Roz? Frankly, no. But apart from everything else, the sheriff would go spare if I did. The new Puritan and all that. You heard that speech in Perth.
Very prime ministerial. Presumably, though, your first loyalty is to Roz, or Kay, if you so wish.
Charles, in the ideal world, you'd be right. I am not the ideal man, and this is not the ideal world. Well, don't look so damn disappointed. What did you expect?
Oh, I'm not disappointed at all. Although somehow I rather hoped I would be.
You're being bloody clever again. I may have cocked things up, but we're still in this game.
Career first?
Oh, it's not a career. It only takes one vote to tell you that. But frankly, while I'm here, well, things get done when you're single-minded. Everyone benefits from that, including the voters.
What about Kay?
Well, I'd rather hope that you'd impressed upon her the need to behave properly.
I'm not sure she saw it that way.
Oh, she must do. After all, she's a woman. They're used to understanding these things.
That's hardly a popular notion nowadays. What if she doesn't?
It may not be popular, but it's true. Well, if push comes to shove, I happen to have a couple of diaries of hers.
Oh. Does she know?
No, of course she doesn't. But if she won't be sensible, then you can tell her that a few names in those little black books will show that I wasn't the only one.
And you'd use this?
I can tell you, Charles, she'll soon find out that there's a thin line between a wronged woman and a tart. See how she likes that.
Surely, if the numbers are right, they'll fall.
That Baxter's going to be damn smart, see? You could tell from that article of his in the paper, couldn't you?
Talking about law and order in the home's one thing, producing something coherent's another.
He may be a nasty bit of work, but he's not entirely a stupid crud. I reckon he's got something up his sleeve for him there, don't you?
Of course I do, Dennis. That's his tactical stratagem, isn't it? He sweetens them up in the paper and they think, well, not bad, but not quite good enough. Then he makes a big gesture in the chamber, see?
Put the two together and all the dithers clap both hands and feet and either vote with the government or abstain.
But surely they'll see through it. We could have them beaten on this.
I thought you were brighter than that. You tell her, Dennis, boy. I got a bit of head banging to get on with.
He's probably right. You see, Jules, the minority parties may not agree with the government, but they don't want 'em out. Not yet, anyway.
That's scandalous.
What sweet words on this Rialto do I hear?
Hey, you shifty bugger, what you after?
Which way is it going tonight?
You know damn well.
Could be. Depends what Baxter gives them.
And what do you hear?
Oh, this and that. Mostly nothing.
There you are, then.
Which makes me think there's something to come.
Could be right. You'll not get the wee demons and nationals on your side tonight.
So they're safe?
Oh, you never know till it's 10:15, but probably.
I still think it's scandalous. We've missed a big chance.
Aye, there's a lot that's scandalous round here. But then we're no damn different. We beat him tonight, then we go for a vote of confidence.
But that's the whole point.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I agree. But most of our lot are scared witless, I told you before. We haven't a brass farthing for another election. Not yet, anyway.
Seemingly none of the minorities want one either. They know they'll get crucified. I reckon they'll be keeping their heads down for a wee while.
So all this is a farce? Is that what you're both saying?
Well, you've only yourselves to blame. You've hardly caught your friend Baxter with his trousers down, have you?
Hello. What are you doing here?
Haunting democracy. Aren't these supposed to be its corridors?
Are you, visiting someone?
Yes. Why?
I see.
Still?
What I mean...
Oh, I know what you mean, Mr. Bannister. You know, I used to be frightened of you. Well, perhaps not frightened. In awe. That was it. But I'm not now.
You make me sound like some ogre.
You are. In this place, anyway. Don't forget, I've seen them. Not just with you. All the chief whips are the same. Most of the young backbenchers wouldn't even dare speak to you. You're like the sinister cardinal, demanding trust, but never to be trusted.
At the risk of appearing unreasonable, you haven't answered my question.
Why should I?
In the circumstances, it's a perfectly reasonable one. Dougal's about to make one of the most important speeches of this session, and I find you wandering along the committee corridor. If you were me...
But I'm not. All right, Mr. Bannister, stop fretting. I'm collecting a CFR for Sir William. Perfectly simple. Satisfied? Now, why don't you leave me alone?
And Dougal?
Oh, I'll wander into the gallery and watch him speak. I always do. Did you know that?
I didn't. And then what?
What exactly do you want? A written answer? A planted question in PMQs?
You're still going to make a fuss?
A fuss? Is that what you think it is? A little local difficulty? Oh, my God, what putrid minds you lot have.
Realistic.
Oh, if all else fails, quote reality. Now, where have I heard that before? Oh, don't worry. The image of your glorious Home Secretary and your precious majority are safe. I know when to go quietly.
What exactly do you mean?
What do you want me to mean? I have given in. That's what. Happy?
It would be best for everyone.
A victory for common sense? Is that what the official communique would say?
What do you intend to do?
What's it matter? I'm nothing more than a discarded tart. Why should I care?
I think that's rather unnecessary.
Oh, do you now? You didn't know he phoned me? You didn't know he threatened to leak names of my friends, boyfriends, have me called a Whitehall whore? You didn't know? Tell me honestly, Mr. Bannister, if you know what honestly means, why the hell should you care?
You wouldn't do anything silly, would you?
I've told you not to worry. I haven't the guts to cut my wrists. I promise I won't embarrass you.
Tell me, why have you changed your mind?
I'd have thought that was obvious. I love him.
I see.
No, you don't. I love him. And because I do, I have a funny sort of loyalty. But you wouldn't begin to understand that, would you?
And furthermore, Mr. Speaker, it is not an unworthy notion that the genesis of this nation's law and order begins in our homes. Members opposite may say no, but they would do well, Mr. Speaker, to reflect that we on this side stand for the survival of family life, for compassion, and unashamedly an old-fashioned code of loyalty and ethics. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, we stand by our belief that common sense and determination will ensure the survival of what amounts to this traditional and valued sense of honor.
In that episode of The House, you heard Julian Glover as Charles Bannister, Timothy West as Dougal Baxter, David Ryle as Dennis Wigton, Siobhan Redmond as Juliet Cameron, Sheila Reid as Rose, Jane Booker as Kay Bennett, Ian Cuthbertson as Jack Ross, Dennis Ramsden as Sir William, Sean Prendergast as Eamon and the waiter, and Ray Smith as Murphin Edwards. The House was written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. The House by Christopher Lee, starring Julian Glover as Charles Bannister and Timothy West as Dougal Baxter.
Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, it's all very well for the Home Secretary to say that all this high-speed rail mugging is isolated. And it's no good his cronies saying here, most of them haven't been on the London Underground train in their lives.
Pathetic little weasel. Probably true, though.
The point is, Mr. Speaker, the point is, surely, that even one isolated incident is one too many. And the complacency shown by this government only encourages the thumping great oaks and louds. They know they can get away with it, so they do it.
Charles, for you. What? Oh, thanks. And who's passing sweet nothing notes to you at this time of night?
You know, they used to say what was hijinks in Mayfair
Oh,
was
nothing.
hooliganism in Hackney.
It's Mary wants me to call her. I'll do it when he's finished. I shouldn't wait. Wigton could go on all night.
Well, some of your hijinking Mayfair socialites
Actually,
may
you're probably
find
right. It's not like Mary to ring unless it's urgent.
class sport.
She's in her room, changing. We only got back 2 minutes ago.
What exactly happened? Oh, get down, Worcester.
Yeah, Worcester, come on, sit. Good boy. Apparently, it was all horridly simple. There was an accident and some boy, I don't know, fell down.
Fell down? Fell down where? Well, you must know. Surely, good God, Mary, it's after midnight. When was this? What was Polly doing?
It was a party. She was there, that's all.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, darling.
Come on, Worcester, come on, sit down, come on.
Darling, you all right?
I'm a bit shaken and a bit stirred as well, I suppose.
Do you want to tell me what happened?
I thought you told him.
Not really. I'm not sure I know.
Where were you?
Sort of High Street Ken, it was a party.
On a Tuesday?
Why not?
Well, I suppose not. What happened?
I'm not quite sure, you know, the usual thing, music, people talking, and then someone screamed, and Julian, and that was the boy, he had fallen off.
Who's Julian?
He's a boy at college. He's doing piano and voice, or rather.
Fell off what?
The roof, of course. That's where it happened.
Having a party on a roof?
Well, yes, what's wrong with that?
What sort of roof?
Just a roof garden, you know, pots of flowers and things, a patio with a chimney. God, you sound just like the police did.
Why were they there?
Because Julian's dead, that's why. You know, head smashed, brains in the gutter, eyes wide open, killed. No more, okay? You satisfied?
I tell you, my girl, I really don't like the smell of this. I reckon it's bother for you, Mr. B.
It's just the papers. She was there, that's all.
Guilt by association, so to speak. You can't avoid it. I know. I've seen those sort of things when I was in the mob.
This isn't the army.
Maybe not, but you know as well as I do, most of the punters will believe anything. Especially if there's a bit of smuck in it.
It's speculation.
Ah, come on, Rosie, me love. This ain't the first time she's been in the papers.
And what's that supposed to mean?
What I says. That bloke in the Express is always writing about her. So are the others. So she gets involved in something like this. They love it, don't they?
Oh, this is going over the top.
It's him that went over the top, wasn't it?
Arthur.
Rosie, you got to accept it. Something funny somewhere. Blokes don't normally fall off roofs, do they?
You are as bad as the papers.
Ah, come on, be honest, love. You got a bit of a party going on, especially somewhere like that, then you got to be extra careful.
Maybe they were.
Seems like it, done it. You can imagine, can't you? Few bevies inside him, showing off to the skirt, couple of drags on the old exotic woodbines, and whoops, over he goes.
Maybe it'll die down.
Now, you seen the headlines? Here, look at this one. Minister's daughter sees death die.
According
And he
to
hasn't-
Mr. Bannister.
Hey, hang on a minute. What about this one, then? Red spy in suspect drug death, minister's daughter questioned.
She's not like that. I've known her since she was knee-high to a grasshopper. She wouldn't get involved in drugs.
I believe you, Rosie, but be reasonable. I mean, thousands wouldn't.
Let's have a look at that again. What do they mean? Red spy?
Doesn't matter what they mean. Wasn't exactly your ordinary party, not one of your Tupperware jobs, was it now?
The lobby's hardly the place for this sort of conversation.
I thought you should know, that's all.
Who is he? Is he known?
Well, I'm only the Home Secretary. I'll probably be the last to be told.
Come on, Dougal, this is serious.
Yes, of course. I'll know this morning. Strictly speaking, the Foreign Office leads on this one.
Nonsense. It's a police matter as well.
Well, that's what the buggers tell me. And frankly, because of our personal involvement, I can't be seen to be pushing. You'd probably be quicker having a quiet word with that brother-in-law of yours.
I'm just about to. But you must have his name at least.
Oh, it's Morsky or something. But that's not really important. The fact is, Charles, this could be jolly embarrassing for us.
That's the least of my concerns at the
Well,
moment.
frankly, it shouldn't be. Forget this Morsky chappie. There's nothing we can do about that. I'm more worried about Polly's involvement if this drug thing comes to anything.
Well, thank you, old man. Mary and I appreciate that.
Yes, of course. Just imagine the damage it could do if those headlines got any worse. Highly embarrassing.
You mean politically?
Of course. We heard that little stoat Wigton last night. Just think what he's going to make of all this hijinks in Mayfair stuff.
I see.
The sheriff was quite clear at the last cabinet. Heads down, sit back, and wait for them to shoot themselves in the foot. I shouldn't have to tell you this, Charles, but publicity of any kind is to be avoided.
Without mentioning the name of a certain lady friend of yours, I'm not sure you're the right person to be handing out lecture notes.
There's no need to personalize this. Anyway, that's all resolved. I just hope none of this mess with Polly comes to anything.
It's a purely domestic matter, Dougal, and I hope you'll continue to see it that way.
In our positions, there's no such thing as a purely domestic matter.
Thank you for your support.
There's no need for sarcasm. Anyway, how do you think it fits with my campaign for law and order starting in the home? I tell you, Charles, this is highly inconvenient.
Is she too upset? I shall send her flowers.
In the circumstances, Henry, hardly an appropriate gesture.
Perhaps, dear heart, but one rarely resisted by women.
She stormed off last night, locked herself in her bedroom with that thundering dog, and hasn't spoken since.
Perhaps, dear boy, we should ask the dog. Animals in such circumstances assume the role of confessor.
I'm not looking for a confession, just what happened. I've got a nasty feeling. I don't want to be surprised, you know? Read it in the papers first.
Perhaps there's little of consequence.
And someone reminded me this morning, as far as Ten's concerned at the moment, everything's of consequence.
Indeed. But tread softly, dear heart, for you tread on a daughter's trust.
It's better I find out what went on before some senseless policeman makes it worse.
Is that likely?
Well, they're bound to have another go at her, even if there's only to check statements and have them signed.
Ah, the plods and clods. They won't know where to put their boots.
Right in, given half a chance. So, you think this fellow's clean? Nothing to worry about?
Morzitsky? Not exactly clean. Grubby? But yes, nothing to worry about.
You're sure?
Certainly not. One has learnt never to be sure with poachers such as Morzitsky. Or at least this one has.
Hello there, Worcester. Where is she then?
Morning.
Hello, darling. How are you feeling now? Where's your mother?
Making the coffee. Fine, no problem.
One, sir?
No, thanks, not now. You look a bit pale.
Well, I suppose I must. About last night, I'm sorry about storming off like that, but, well, you know.
Of course. Don't worry about it.
I suppose I was a bit frightened. Anyway, I'm sorry I flew off the handle, okay?
Absolutely. As long as you are.
You sure you weren't?
Sure.
Oh, thanks. What will happen now?
I imagine the police may want to talk to you.
They rang. They're coming this afternoon.
Well, what shall I tell them?
The truth. I mean, you know, what happened, or rather, what you know happened.
You mean the truth?
Well, yes, but you must only tell them what you know. There's no need to get involved.
But she is involved. She was there.
But you didn't see anything, did you?
Not exactly.
Well, there you are then.
Not necessarily. They'll want to know what you saw earlier.
But if she didn't see him fall...
I wasn't anywhere near him.
That's not the point. They'll check anything you've said already.
To try and catch me out?
It's simple checking. The hard part will be when they ask for impressions. How well did you know him? What time did he arrive? What did you talk to him? If so, how did he seem? Was he with anyone? Had he been drinking? Was there any argument? Was there anything unusual about him?
In other words, they don't believe he fell.
I didn't say that.
But you meant it.
Well, you have to be prepared for these things, Polly.
Do you know this man Mojitsky?
What's that got to do with it?
Well, they may ask. You've seen the papers.
I suppose we're checking for needle marks as well.
Don't be silly, Polly.
Well, why not? They'll believe it anyway.
What?
The people we're using.
Were they?
You mean was I, don't you?
Daddy didn't say that.
He didn't have to. That's what you meant.
I didn't, but yes, the police will naturally have their suspicions. They've only to find traces in the autopsy and they'll wonder, was anyone?
What do you want me to say? Yes? Will that make you feel happier?
Polly, calm down.
I don't like being interrogated. I went to a party, there was an accident, a vague friend died, end of story.
Look, darling, be realistic. Whether you like it or not, you are not anyone else going to a party. You happen to be my daughter. Newspapers love it, and frankly, on more frivolous occasions, so have you.
So you believe them before you believe me?
Absolutely not. But this isn't going to lie down for weeks. There'll be speculation, and then an inquest. Goodness knows what'll come out of that.
Well, Daddy's right. He's only trying to help.
You mean you're fair game?
Whatever you may think I mean, I'm also your father. There are some simple, if nasty, questions to be asked now. Was there anything going on at that party which you'd rather the police didn't know about?
Charles, that's not fair.
Forget it, Mummy. Number 10's obviously spoken.
That was unnecessary. But my question wasn't.
Listen, you may be Mr. God Almighty down the road, but don't treat me like one of your toading MPs. I don't have to give an account of everything I do.
Was there?
Well, why don't you ring the papers? You'll believe them before you believe me, whatever I tell you.
He's telephoned twice. Wouldn't speak to anyone else. The others don't normally ring.
Damned man. And you've no idea where Mr. Bannister is. He can't have disappeared.
Well, he was at the flat, but that must have been an hour ago.
What exactly did the little ferret want?
Nothing much. Just could he speak to Mr. Bannister?
Damn cheek of the man.
Well, then he said not to bother, he'd see him later.
It really is too bad, personal attacks like this.
We didn't say anything like that. Only what I've just said.
Oh, there you are, Charles. I must have a word.
Hello. Any messages?
12 was on about a couple of written answers. And old Mr. Barker's coming out of hospital on Friday, but he'll be out of action for at least 3 weeks.
Oh, blast the man.
Remind me to drop him a get well note.
Right. And Mr. Edwards wants to know if you could scrap 5 tomorrow and make it immediately after PMQs.
What's that wretched Welsh agitator up to now?
Well, he is their chief whip. It's just our usual meeting.
Well, yes, but why change it? And why after Prime Minister's questions? They're up to something, I can tell you.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
The other one was Mr. Wigton. He was looking for you.
Now, we've got a stamp on him, Charles, before he gets out of hand. I warned you, didn't I?
Well, this can hardly have anything to do with last night.
If you don't mind me saying so, you hardly see the obvious at the moment. Quite clearly, Wigton is out to exploit this for all he's worth.
He sounded friendly enough, if you don't mind me saying.
If he isn't chopped now, and if this develops, well, it may be better for everyone if you stood aside until it was all settled.
I see.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you do, Charles. Just friendly advice, you understand?
Uncle Hen, you're fantastic.
Possibly, my dear. But I'm somewhat surprised it ever crossed the mind of one so young.
They're lovely. I can't think we've got a big enough vase for them.
Leave them with your mother. When she's not writing those penny dreadfuls of hers, flower arranging is something she does rather well.
No. I'm going to try and put them in these two, and there's a glass one on that end shelf there.
Ah.
That's the one.
My florist tells me they'll last for weeks if you change the water every couple of days or so.
My florist, you are pompous.
Not at all. The attention they give to slight pleasure feeds one's illusions of grandeur, nothing more.
Well, you are grand, Uncle Hen, even if you are pompous as well. Really, it was sweet. You needn't have bothered.
'Twas no bother, dear maiden. I heard there was much gloom and glum, and nothing more than your four-legged friend to comfort you.
Worcester's good company, aren't you? Wake up, you stupid animal. You're being flattered.
Hardly stupid. He sleeps on. That's what you must do. Don't take this too much to heart.
Did Daddy and Mummy put you up to this?
Certainly not. You're my niece and goddaughter, and, on occasions, my friend.
Sure?
My dear, sure, honest angel.
You are sweet.
You make me sound like an impotent cleric. Truly, Polly, just friends. Now, I must off.
Well, what do you think? It's not too much fern.
Charming, simply charming. Moises Stevens will blush with pride.
Oh, thank once again.
A pleasure for an old man.
Nonsense. You're lovely.
So kind, my dear, so kind. By the by, you don't happen to know who invited friend Morzitsky to the party? Do you?
Uncle Hen, don't. Don't spoil it, please.
I know his secretary told me he was looking.
Oh, well, if you see him then, it wasn't important.
Right old to do, innit? Still only what I had expected. Know what goes on, you know.
Oh, how's that then?
Well, you know, us badge messengers see quite a lot without being seen, so to speak. Get to know people, and, well, I always keep the old arcing apparatus tuned. Something I learned in the mob, you know.
So, what do you hear then?
Well, I was having this conversation with a certain party this morning, and a little matter of the exotic woodbine reared its ugly.
You mean drugs, is that what you mean?
That's what they're saying, ain't it?
Who is?
Well, see, what I think's known round here as usual reliable sources, so to speak.
So you're telling me that you've got hard evidence that drugs were being used at that party, is that what you're saying?
Well, I wouldn't exactly say hard evidence,
Well,
so
what
to speak,
then?
but...
Ah, there you are. Looking for me?
Right, well, I'll be seeing you later then, sir.
Oh, it wasn't important. I just wanted to have a word about this business in the papers this morning.
I see. I thought you might.
Did you know? Well, it's like this.
Before you start, I don't mind telling you that I'm in no mood to turn the matter into some political free-for-all.
It's up to you what you turn it into. Fact of the matter is, what you think wouldn't stop a tinker cussing or a parson praying.
If I can catch up with your metaphors, I still don't see what it's got to do with you or this place.
Stuff metaphors. All I'm saying...
The hijinks in Mayfair have come home to roost, is that what you're saying? Well, if you think you're going to make something of this, you've got another think coming.
If you just shut up a minute, Bannister, and stop playing the God Almighty in a pinstripe and stiff collar, you'd hear what I'm saying.
I think I hear you perfectly well.
I doubt it. I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry it's happened, and I hope she doesn't get too much stick. That daughter of yours, that is.
I see. I'm sorry. I simply assumed, well, I suppose it's fairly obvious what I assumed.
Aye, bloody right it is. I just hope you think a bit more when you're talking to her about it than you did me.
Yes, well, it's very kind of you, Dennis, thank you. Very thoughtful.
I've had plenty of time to think about it, you see. I've been through something similar.
Oh, I didn't know.
Why should you? I won't bore you with details, but I know. That's all I wanted to say.
I'm sorry, I didn't even know you had a daughter.
Son. Well, half-son. Bernard. He had the name when he came. We adopted him when he was 11. There's not many that wants 11-year-olds.
I suppose not.
We thought we could handle him. We might have done if I hadn't been down here anyway. He got involved with the wrong lot, and, well, they had this party one night, and there was a bit of a fight, and one of them hit his head on table, and that was it.
Your son was involved?
Aye, because he was there, yes. But that was all. The lad died a couple of days later.
I see.
What I'm saying is that Bernard went through it. First the police, and then us. You can't cuddle a 17-year-old lad, so you ask questions. I suppose we asked the wrong ones, and, well, it didn't help.
I know what you mean.
I'm sorry if you do. Anyway, Bannister, I said what I was going to. Just hope it turns out all right in wash.
He's just a troublemaker. Don't take any notice.
Give me a right quizzing he was.
You don't want to trust any of them. They'll get hold of this nonsense and have a go at Mr. B first chance they get. Did he actually ask if you knew anything about drugs?
Well, not in so many words, like. But you know how that Wigton's lot are. He was trying to get me to drop in, so to speak.
I hope you told him to take a running jump at himself.
Don't you worry, Rosie. I made it clear I didn't know nothing. Don't want to drop your Mr. Bannister in the mire, do I?
It's young Polly I feel for. Once those newspapers get their teeth in, they never let go. We'll just have to wait for the police report.
Papers been on, like?
Of course. And a couple of the lobby correspondents came sniffing round. They're no problem, mind. They don't like getting mixed up in the page 3 stuff.
They say anything about drugs, then?
Not really. One of them reckoned everyone was clean at that party.
Must have been a little bit going on.
Why?
Well, you know, those sort of kids, you know, are a bit well off from that. At it all the time, aren't they?
If I were you, Arthur Hawkins, I shouldn't let Mr. Bannister hear you say that.
I may never be able to decide whether it's the butter or the tea cake that gives me the greater pleasure.
Well, the tea's disgusting.
How about a glass of Madeira instead?
No, thanks. I'll suffer.
Raymond, some fresh tea, if you'll be so kind.
No, it's not necessary.
Oh, few things are, dear heart. That's the blessing of indulgence.
What do you hear?
About Polly. She's somewhat on edge. She seems to think your concern is for the next election rather than for her.
So everyone tells me. It's nonsense, of course.
Naturally. Equally, she's come face to face with the responsibility rather than the frivolity of being the daughter of a public personage. Sadly, in the most disagreeable circumstances.
There we are, Mr. Colvil. I'll just clear these for you, sir.
Raymond, so kind. Now, Charles, let us see. Darker, hotter, and alas, probably no different. Never mind. You were saying, dear boy?
Wondering, rather than saying. Perhaps I was a little persistent.
Fortunately, I've never had the burden of parenthood. But even favourite uncles are, on occasions, clumsy. So never mind.
It would be easier if I knew what was in that police report.
Would it?
Of course.
As a non-parent, I would have thought it should make no difference whatsoever. Polly is Polly, whatever the report says.
You make it sound as if I'm against her.
He's rather like the young naval officer during the war walking down Whitehall. He asked which side the Admiralty was on. Ours, I think, came the reply. It's how we ask, rather than what.
I suppose so.
For what it's worth, Charles, the police have come up with nothing.
Oh, are you sure?
On this occasion, yes. And the pathologist found no trace of strange substances. The young man was apparently a diabetic and a total abstainer.
Hello, Worcester. She take you for a walk, then?
Oh, didn't expect to see you home.
Good boy. Go on, down you get. I was close, so I called in. I hoped you'd be here.
Really?
I've just seen your Uncle Henry.
How nice.
Yes, well, we had tea at his club.
How very civilized.
Actually, the tea was almost offensive.
I suppose now that India is no longer ours, there is little you can do about that.
He has some news about the accident.
There's been an accident.
Polly, please.
Oh, you mean Julian and our drugs orgy.
Oh, stop it, Polly. If you must know, he's seen the police report and the coroner's. There was no drug trace or anything.
How disappointing for you.
Look, I'm sorry if you thought I was being too inquisitive, but I am your father.
Really? I thought you were the chief whip and we were loyal, or it seems disloyal party minions.
What's got into you?
You have. The fact that you have to ask ought to tell you something.
Oh, you saw the papers. I wanted your side of the story, that's all.
There shouldn't have had to be my side of the story, as you call it. I'm your daughter. You shouldn't have had doubts.
But I didn't. I just wanted to know.
Well, what did you expect? Crack? Screwing?
Polly.
Because if that's what you think, then the next time there's a party, maybe I'll remember what the great Charles Bannister thinks of his daughter and not disappoint him.
In that episode of The House, you heard Julian Glover as Charles Bannister, Timothy West as Dougal Baxter, Sarah Bedell as Mary Bannister, Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colvil, David Ryle as Dennis Wigton, Sheila Reid as Rose, James Garbett as Arthur, and Ruth Gemmell as Polly Bannister. Other parts were played by Ken Cumberledge, Ian Targett, David Googe, John Bull, David King, Christopher Scott, Charles Simpson, Brian Miller, Michael Kilgariff, and Danny Schiller. The House was written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. The House by Christopher Lee, starring Julian Glover as Charles Bannister and Timothy West as Dougal Baxter.
Polly's right. This toaster is damned. Charles?
Hmm?
Never mind.
It was a wedding present.
So you keep telling me.
Sorry, you must finish this.
I think the Times was invented in order to stop all breakfast conversation.
What?
Nothing.
New opinion poll, you know. They've done a lot of catching up.
You don't normally take much notice of those sort of things.
This one could be right. Quite possibly we're only 1.5 points ahead. In election terms, that would be a disaster.
Well, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and they spend, spend, spend. How about an expensive lunch today? Somewhere rather snazzy.
Oh, sorry, no can do. I'm meeting old Cameron.
Bully for old Cameron, whoever he is.
Cameron, my tutor at Oxford. Dribbles a bit. Trifle bandy, but a nice old boy all the same.
But we've got 'em on the run, Mervyn. Can't you understand that?
There's running and there's running, boy. We've got to pick our moments, see. Tactical plotting and manoeuvre, that's what it is.
Tactics my backside. It's getting the buggers against the wall and letting them have it.
Oh, very sophisticated, I'm sure. And what precisely is it that you'd let them have, as you put it?
Well, you're the chief whip, not me. You're supposed to get together with our so-called leaders and fix things.
So I am. We're having a go at the rent bill next week. Second reading. Then screw 'em on the committee stage.
Well, that'll hardly turn their eyes bloodshot, will it?
We got to take things step at a time, see. It's a matter of organisation and tactics, boy.
Yes, well, then don't let them have the second reading. It doesn't go far enough.
Of course it doesn't. And we'll make a fuss. Get it changed in the committee stage. Jerry's got a nice little speech worked up for the debate.
Nice little speech. Fat lot, that'll do.
Oh, I told you, Dennis, boy, it's a matter of tactics.
Tactics, yes.
You can do all the shouting you like on the floor, but I got to fix the timing, like, through the usual channels.
Oh, my God.
That's where the real business is done.
Aye, you and Bannister having your cosy chats.
It's always been done that way, otherwise there'd be chaos.
Yes, well, perhaps that's what we need. Show the punters what a right dishonest setup we've got here.
Charlie Bannister knows we're in a strong position. He'll have to give on a few things.
Aye, and carrots turn blue with cold. It's not even him, it's that toffee-nosed private secretary of his. Bowman's the bastard with the real power. Oh, good heavens.
You've been reading too much Crossman, boy. Whatever they think, it's us who controls the civil servants.
Oh, yeah, well, let me tell you, I'm not the only one that's fed up.
None of us is happy, boy. We don't relish sitting on the wrong side of the house forever. Nice cup of tea, that.
Aye, sounded like it.
What?
Listen! You can't sit there forever drinking tea and making excuses. There's a dozen in this place who've had enough promises. They want some action. And what do you think of that, boyo?
OK, I'll tell him. He was coming over at 12, but never mind. What? OK. Bye. Mr. Bowman, he's on his way over.
Why?
Private secretaries don't give reasons to the likes of me. At least Mr. Bowman doesn't.
I can guess. Anyway, what were you saying?
Oh. Mum, poor old Biddy's no better, but she's got all her marbles.
And the pressure's still on for you to move down to Herne Bay?
I suppose so. We'll have to see. Must admit there are times when I wouldn't mind being somewhere there's fresh air.
Coming from someone who's dedicated to 60 a day, that's rich.
No, it's this place. It's too, well, too cosy. Different world.
The finest club in London, someone called it.
Ah, there you are.
Yes, Dougal, here I am. However, we were wondering aloud if it's the right place to be.
Yes, of course. Now, Charles, I need a word. Privately.
So bleeding subtle. If you need me, I'll be in the vote office.
Fine. Presumably you've read the polls.
Yes, of course. Charles, I think it's about time that some of us were looking to the future.
The future or our future?
Cynicism may become you, Charles, but we both know that there are times when even the highest members of the party come under the microscope.
Here we go.
Perhaps the wise thing would be for us to make changes while we still have the chance to do so on our own terms.
I've told you before, ambition's your cup of weakness, especially when you spill it in public.
I thought I'd make a series of reassuring speeches.
Aren't they all meant to be reassuring?
Well, you know the line. The economy's fine, just need a touch on the tiller, praise the TUC, law and order starting in the home, that sort of thing. Widen my public image.
You can't make any speech, especially the sort you're suggesting, without clearing it over the road.
Oh, I cleared the speech right enough. The message would be in the asides and the interviews.
Baxter the politician becomes a statesman, an alternative leader. Dougal, real people don't talk like this.
I am a real person, Charles, and I am talking like this. The reality is that we're losing credibility. If there should be changes...
You mean if the sheriff decides to step aside? No, this is silly talk. We've had this conversation before.
Oh, that was different.
Dougal, you must accept it'll never be different.
It's quite possible that this time I have serious support for my views.
I'm sure you have.
Outside this place as well.
It'd have to be. Such things are decided by a much more influential cabal than the front bench.
Do I have yours?
Frankly, no. Your timing's wrong.
The figures don't say so.
One set of figures doesn't make a winter of internal discontent.
If they support internal figures, they might.
I see. Go on.
I'm told there are such figures.
And they say?
That I don't know. But you do, don't you?
This is best kept between ourselves.
Of course.
Frankly, it's only your remarkable ambition which allows me to believe that.
Where do they come from?
Ever since the election, we've been running a weekly computer-based poll. Utterly hush-hush, of course.
Was high street stuff?
No. That's why it's sensitive.
But the only other sources are official, not ours.
DT Industries and commercial breakdowns.
Is that all?
And computer feeds from some very confidential social services programs.
Departmental? But that's...
Including yours. That's why it's so damned confidential.
Is this strictly legal?
Strictly?
Up to a point?
You might say that the original data source was never intended for party political purposes.
Indeed, Lord Copper.
As you say, up to a point.
And you're saying that the trend matches the one in the paper?
The results have been somewhat disappointing.
Then I'm right.
Your diagnosis, yes. Your prognosis? That I'm not so sure.
He hasn't got a flaming clue. You should have heard him going on about tactical manoeuvring. He couldn't manoeuvre a duck in his bath.
Surely you don't become chief whip if you're stupid.
Well, this one did. You know how he got the job? Nastiest bastard they could lay their hands on.
And he got on the national executive.
Aye, but he's got as much power as a dead pigeon.
He frightened me at first. Now I just think he's a bully.
Yes, I mean, look at Bannister. Backbenchers wouldn't dare speak to him. Flaming God he is. Edwards, well, he's flattered if anyone does.
That doesn't mean theirs is a good system.
Organisation, that's what it is, and it's organisation that runs this place, and it's about time we organised a few changes.
Be careful. The old order changeth and giveth way to another old order.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me tell you, there's some that's waiting to push over the ruddy round table.
If we're so badly organised, which particular Merlin did you have in mind to set up the new Camelot?
I don't know for sure, but I know who does. Give the greasy little toad time and he'll be hopping around trying to find out what backing there is.
You must do it by mirrors.
What you two plotting then? Nice select committee trip to some romantic parts, is it?
That's right. We couldn't decide if it should be Avalon or Camelot. What do you think?
Oh, show, is it?
Oh, yes. Just like this place. Anyway, I must be off.
Me too. I'm meeting my father for lunch.
Hang on a minute, Dennis. I thought we'd have a swift half and a nutter.
Oh, what's this in aid of?
Something you mentioned earlier, it was.
Yeah, what did I tell you, Jules?
Hoppity, hoppity, hop. Be seeing you. Bye.
What was that all about?
Oh, private joke.
I'm not sure about that one, boy. Too clever by half, she is.
Hello, hello. What a gathering of plotters and revolutionaries.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Oh, just being friendly, Mervyn. A wee shoshing, that's all.
Well, you have a mind to keep your jokes in the press gallery where they belong, see?
That's what I like among the brothers, a sense of democracy. Keep the lobby in the yard until you need it.
Well, it wouldn't be a bad idea. If you want to know, we were talking about Camelot.
Oh, Kennedy's or the real one?
We're realists here, boy. Your dream-mongering doesn't cut any ice with us, see?
Is that right? So who's ready to pluck Excalibur from the stone?
And what's that meant to mean?
Oh, we are touchy this morning. As fickle as muckle fine plotters, as my schoolmaster used to say. What's going on, then?
He isn't normally late.
Another gin and tonic?
No, just the tonic. I do hope he's all right.
Probably missed the train.
Oh, he'd have phoned.
Professors emeritus are allowed to be absent-minded, you know. It's part of the image.
And then you don't remember my father. He's one of the most precise people I've ever known.
Yes, sir. Ah, good. One gin and tonic and one tonic, please.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, he used to insist that punctuality and consideration would get you through most problems.
Was he right?
Not really. But we liked each other.
Things have changed, I suppose.
I hope so. After all, it was, what, more than a quarter of a century ago. You were hardly out of nappies.
Don't tell me you remember me.
I never saw you, but most of us that year were given a running commentary on your progress, and, well, here we are.
But where's he got to?
One gin and two tonics, sir.
Thank you. Curious, really, to think I'm old enough to be your father.
Just. And he's old enough to be yours.
Cheers.
Cheers. You've only the one daughter.
Polly.
Do you get on?
Not this week. I rather came the heavy-handed father over that party business.
Why shouldn't you? You're hardly the average Guardian reader, after all.
Polly is.
Oh, considering she's always in the Express gossip column, that's a bit rich.
You don't do so badly. What was it the other day? The longest legs in Westminster.
Don't. It was horrid. I'm surprised you read it.
Really?
Actually, no. I bet you're full of them.
Excuse me, Mr. Bannister.
Yes?
A message from Professor Cameron. He sends his compliments, but he's missed the train and won't be able to join me.
Oh.
Thank goodness for that.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Oh, it's all right. Mystery solved. Worry over.
Will you still be wanting the table, sir?
What do you think? Shall we?
Well...
Yes, please. But just for two.
Of course we want some changes, but you don't have to murder to get it. This isn't South of bloody America.
You see, a lot of people have been clapping hands in joyful unison, like a chapel on fire with fervour and mission. But they've been missing the point, haven't they?
Well, you tell me.
I am, if you'd listen. They're getting as excited as a virgin with a last chance, but they've been looking at wrong figures.
We've got 'em on the run, and we should be going for their throats.
Ignorance, boy, ignorance. You can't spend all your time thinking in gutter tactics.
We're neck and neck.
But we're not heart and heart. The important statistic is who, not what. It's the popularity of the leader that counts, see? And our boy is taking a bit of stick.
Just because the ship's got a leak, it doesn't mean you sling the skipper over the side.
Look, even before the election, we were closing the gap as a party.
Well, then.
Well, they may be only 1.5 points in front, but not the leadership. That's widened. Our glorious leader is losing the popularity vote. 14 points behind he is.
Well, at the same time...
At the same time, nothing. Some of us have been taking what they call soundings, see? Talking round the bazaars, in the clubs and committees, getting the feel of things, you know?
Well, what do you hear?
Very simple. He's got to go. It's sad, but there it is.
Well, we ask people to vote for policies, not some designer pillock tugged up by Saatchi and Saatchi.
I agree. But when you're in opposition, you have to convince the people that your boy really looks like a prime minister. The longer you're kept waiting, the more chance he has of being found out.
Yes, and we've been waiting too long.
Exactly. So half the country's now convinced he's a failure because he hasn't done anything.
He's a damn good speaker.
No one cares tuppence for speeches. You get criticised for not making them and then hit over the head because they're only talk.
What are you suggesting?
You see, it'd be nice to get a better idea how some of your friends feel. Discreetly like, see?
That was lovely. I feel guilty.
Impossible. Anyway, I should thank you. I haven't enjoyed myself like that for many a day. Very relaxing.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, how do you relax?
We've just spent an hour or so talking about that. Walking, reading, painting.
That's at weekends. What about the rest of the time?
Perhaps I don't. Certainly not in the house.
You're very formal in there. Do you know, you're the only person I know who still wears stiff collars.
It forces me to stick to a diet. There's no give in stiff collars.
Perhaps if you threw them away, you'd always be as relaxed as you were just now.
And a stone heavier.
I think I prefer the lunchtime Bannister to the chief whip.
Then we must lunch again.
Mr. Bannister, that's no way to talk to a junior backbencher and her just a slip of a girl.
Jules, my dear, I think you've hit it. Perhaps there's something in coalitions after all.
Charles! Woo! Charles! Fancy seeing you.
Oh. Hello, darling. Oh, sorry, you haven't met, have you? Juliet Cameron, my wife, Mary.
Hi.
How do you do?
We've just managed to spot a lunch, you know.
No, I didn't. We were supposed to meet my father, but he didn't make it.
How tiresome for you.
Still, we made the best of it, didn't we?
I'm sure you did.
You probably remember, darling, Juliet's one of the newer members.
Right.
Yes, you're often in the tabloids.
Occupational hazard, I'm afraid. Well, I must be getting back. Sorry to rush off.
What a pity you have to go.
Yes, well, nice to have met you, and thanks for lunch. Bye.
Bye. Bright girl, you know.
Oh, yes? But hardly a trace of a dribble, and certainly not bandy.
I've got Mr. Bowman's brief on the second reading if you need it.
What time's Mr. Edwards in? 3?
4 minutes past.
Why does he always do that?
Proves he's not coming cap in hand, I suppose. When is the second reading?
Wednesday, or that's what we intend. Panorama's doing something on rents on the Monday night. For a change, we come out of it rather well.
Why not have it on the same night?
The debate would overshadow the programme reviews. Decent headlines Tuesday morning, open Wednesday with a common-sense speech. Net result, a happy week.
Mr. Edwards agreed to that. He must know about the telly.
Depends. If he thinks it's his idea, then we'll get Wednesday.
If you don't, then what?
We'll cross that one when we come to it. What do the PS say?
Mr. Bowman? Nothing to me. Never does. He thinks I'm what he calls superfluous, an administrative hangover and therefore a luxury.
He's like all private secretaries. Doesn't like to think anyone can get between him and the boss.
It's truth.
He also drafted the anti-smoking campaign when he was at Health, so I'm afraid there's no chance of reconciliation.
At least I don't count lechery among my vices.
My dear Rose, tell me more. The PS hasn't pressed his attentions, I hope?
You're joking. At least I hope you are.
And who is the unfortunate victim of this rascal?
Juliet Cameron.
I see. They're, friends?
Crikey, no. It's still at the gazing across a crowded lobby stage. He hasn't said anything. But I've seen him. I reckon he's got the hots.
And she?
I don't know. Daft, I call it. All part of the male menopause, if you ask me.
I see.
Anyway, that's the second reading brief, and this is his recommendation on the committee numbers.
How many?
He says go for a big one. Minimum 35.
I can't agree to Monday, not to open the debate. Have to be later.
I don't see why. Perfectly good day.
Maybe for you, boy. question of timing, see, and tactical presentation.
Honestly, Murphy, that's your problem. I'm not quite sure why you would expect me to help you there. I couldn't without the leader of the House's agreement anyway.
Easier for everyone, really. Of course, we could have it Tuesday.
Out of the question. PMQs. Don't want the Prime Minister mixed up in this.
See? You have the same problems. Timing and presentation.
What about the committee stage?
Who says it's getting a second reading then, eh?
Come on, Murphy. You'd look prize clots stopping it.
Well, could be some changes here.
In the committee, perhaps. Not in the second reading. I thought perhaps 25 from either side for the committee.
Oh, no, boy. 40 minimum.
Could you get enough of your lot to volunteer?
For a rent bill? Of course. Goes down well in the constituencies. Good local newspaper stuff.
I see.
So we're agreed, are we? 40 it is.
Let's leave that until next week. What about the debate?
Come on, Charlie. Don't try to pull a fast one on me. I know about the panorama thing. Be nice for you Monday, that would. Wouldn't it, boy?
OK, Murphy, you win. But I don't want it Tuesday after PMQs.
Don't worry. There's no mileage in his nibs getting his head bitten off over this one.
Having a bit of a rough ride, isn't he?
Well, you know how it is, Charlie. You hear things.
He's slipping badly, isn't he?
Oh, so. Anyway, I must be off. Let's make it Wednesday for the second reading then, shall we?
Agreed, but no nonsense with it.
Oh, no. You'll get the reading right enough. Maybe a bit hairy, mind you. But you'll get it, boy.
People beginning to notice the gap, are they?
Huh? Oh, he's going through a bad patch, that's all. A little off colour, see.
Very pale, very anemic. Terminally ill, I'd have thought.
But then you're not a doctor by training, are you, Charlie?
True, very true. But I do seem to remember reading somewhere that your father was an undertaker. Coming in handy, is it?
We'll see, won't we, boy? We'll see.
Tell me, how long are you going to keep up this tonic-only thing?
Don't worry, I'm not a total abstainer. I won't let the country down.
Then have a dram or a gin.
No thanks. Tonic's fine.
Afraid of being indiscreet?
And what's that supposed to mean?
You're going to pay for it then, or am I expected to organise a fun run?
Sorry, Eamon, how much?
The poor old fellow's losing his mind, you believe, and for nothing more than a couple of pounds and fivepence.
Here. You sure you can manage it as far as the till?
They do say around here that you can't manage it at all.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Anyone else would be sacked. So, who's in the frame then, Murphin?
Look, boy, nothing's settled, do you understand?
Come off it. You wouldn't have gone this far unless you had a short runner.
A process of elimination, really.
That means the old guard's out.
Had to be, didn't they? Good men, mind you.
Some not. Who then? Not that flash little bugger with his funny face fungus.
Oh, no. Did a good job at the election, but got no real support, see? Unless, of course, you hear different.
No, you're joking. Well, that leaves the Mac-Mafia.
Well, there are others. But yes, I suppose you could be right.
I could, couldn't I?
Jerry's been making some nice little speeches lately.
Oh, come off it. 6 months ago it was too late for grapes. He was at death's door.
Oh, wonderful science medicine, you know.
Yeah, but you've got to convince people outside this place.
That's why some of us have been arranging these pictures for the newspapers. Photo opportunities, they call them, see.
Jogging with his whippet on Hampstead bloody Heath's one thing. Running a palace revolution and then hanging on to thrones another.
Well, that's why you don't understand tactics and manoeuvring.
Oh, bloody hell, not again.
Don't you bloody hell me, boy. What I'm telling you is true. It's very delicate, you see.
About as delicate as a prize fight. And what happens if there isn't sufficient support?
Why, boy, then we rally round the leader. We don't want a split, do we? After all, that wouldn't be loyal, would it?
Anyway, I must be on my way.
You're taking a late supper, then?
Work, not pleasure.
Mr. Wakeman, sir, another white shear.
Aye, just the one then.
Enjoyed your lunch, did you?
What's that mean?
Oh, now why do folk keep asking me that today? Sorry I spoke.
I still don't know what...
Never mind. It was a simple enough thought. You seem to be having a good time. Just wondered.
I didn't see you.
Assuming people don't when they're enjoying themselves, it's well known.
As a matter of fact, I did enjoy myself.
That's all I was asking.
Good.
I didn't know that you and Charles Bannister knew each other. I mean, you're not exactly members of the same club, are you?
Look, I'm not sure it's any of your business, but my father was his tutor at Oxford.
Oh, well, there's a coincidence.
The three of us were meeting for a quiet lunch, that's all.
Funny, I didn't see your father, but then I'm not a cartoonist. Haven't an eye for detail, you understand?
If you insist on going ahead with these speeches, Dougal, I have a theme that may not have crossed your mind.
Well, I think I've covered most things.
Dougal, your naivete amazes me. Everyone will spot you a mile off.
They'll be cleared, as you said.
Forget our colleagues and even the front office. Every PUS in Whitehall will be into his Secretary of State demanding your scalp.
Charles, the days of Evelyn Sharp are long gone.
Coming from you, of all people, that's rich. Anyway, hear me out.
I really think I resent your insinuation that I'm not in charge of my own department.
Nonsense, Dougal. You may be in charge, but you don't run it. Now listen. If you were to make a series of speeches questioning the opposition's leadership, you would damage no toes of our own and have nothing but support.
Well, we do that anyway. That's an old sport, and the fool's always in season.
The game's changing. I'm told there's a move to get rid of him.
No, it'll never happen.
This time it might. What's more, one of his weaknesses is that he's a nice chap. He may even see the reasoning and agree to go without a damaging fight.
Why should he go? The polls say they're doing well.
They are. He isn't. That'll be the reasoning. A new face could get them in.
Supposing you're right.
I happen to believe them. They're quite unelectable with him in charge.
So?
You must start suggesting that there's so much panic that a pogrom is in the planning.
You mean set off the alarm bells, blow their plans, show what an unconfident and untrustworthy organisation they are to be even considered as government?
Dougal, I can hear the ringing sentences and see the headlines even now.
Their man keeps his job, and we our advantage. Namely, his incompetence. What do I get out of it?
A reputation for political perception, which is, after all, Dougal, the prerequisite of any would-be leader.
Yes, of course, Charles. Yes, of course.
That's marvellous, darling. Shall I pick you up? Yes, you're right. Probably quicker. OK. See you then. Bye.
Ah, you're the classic in the family. What's this from Cicero? 4 across. Oh what times oh what something. 6 letters ending in S.
Habits. Oh, what times, oh, what habits. It's in Catalinam. That was Polly.
What's she want? More money?
No, she's getting a plane from Paris tomorrow.
So she really has run out of money.
Don't give her a hard time.
You make me out to be some big bad baron. Of course I won't.
She'll be here by 6. Why don't we all have supper together?
I'm not having much joy with this. 6 across, ennui. That can't be right.
Charles, what about it?
Oh, sorry, no can do. Old Cameron rang this afternoon, full of apologies. Missed the train, the old fool. We're dining at the Rag tomorrow night.
Isn't it a bit late for someone who dribbles to be out?
What? No, coming down for a conference. I think he's staying the night.
She'll be there then.
Who?
Your latest Commons attraction, the dribbling one's daughter.
Shouldn't think so.
Really?
Hint for suffering ennui, nod off, 8 letters.
She can't be much older than Polly.
29-ish? Ennui.
How very clever of you to know.
Of course, 8 letters must be an anagram of ennui nod.
Yes, darling. Try innuendo. That should fit.
In that episode of The House, you heard Julian Glover as Charles Bannister, Timothy West as Dougal Baxter, Sarah Bedell as Mary Bannister, David Ryle as Dennis Wigton, Siobhan Redmond as Juliet Cameron, Sheila Reid as Rose, Ian Cuthbertson as Jack Ross, and Ray Smith as Murphin Edwards. Eamon was played by Sean Prendergast, and the waiter by Charles Simpson. The House was written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. The House by Christopher Lee, starring Julian Glover as Charles Bannister and Timothy West as Dougal Baxter.
That's better.
I thought this was supposed to be a no-smoking zone.
And I thought it was out of bounds to people like you.
I only popped in for a drag. Nobody about, is there?
Oh, hang on a minute. Whip's office. No. No, haven't seen him all evening. No. Hang on, I'll ask. You see Mr. Bannister, Arthur?
Oh, not since about 6.
Sorry, not since 6. He tried his home. What about number 12? They may know. OK. Bye.
Got panic on then?
Don't be daft. This lot won't panic till about 5 to 10. See how many have got back in time to vote.
Another thing, Rosie. Dining room is full tonight. That's a bad sign.
Whip's office. I'm afraid not. Have you tried number 12? He's bound to be back by 9:30. OK, I'll tell him. Bye. Not like Mr. Bannister to go missing on a night like this.
No problem, Rosie. They'll pull it off, won't they?
Some of them are a bit twitchy. The Prime Minister and the Home Secretary in the same debate. That's going some.
Well, they got to stop it, ain't they?
They seem to think so.
Of course they have, all this freedom of information nonsense. Blimey, we wouldn't have any secrets left inside a year.
The only secrets that bother them is who's sleeping with who.
I think some of them would know better.
They do. That's why they're at it.
Ah, another bit of scandal, is there?
I'm sure I don't know.
Come on, you hear everything. Best docking apparatus in the house.
Try Annie's. That's the muck shop in this place. Oh, not again. Hello, Whip's office. What? I see. I'll tell him. Bye. Well, that'll put the cat among the blue tits.
Problem?
You know, Mr. Barker's in hospital.
I'll something.
Well, keep it to yourself. But the opposition's refused to pair.
That was lovely. I've always said you were a really good cook.
This is true, even though you say it yourself, dear sister.
I've always thought that men who cooked were a bit odd.
You're lucky, Charles. You were packed off to school as soon as you'd finished breastfeeding. You haven't seen the steaming inside of a kitchen since.
That's why I married you, darling. From cold what's-it to cold porridge in no time. Talking of which...
Oh, it's only 9.
Votes at 10 and I need to be there early.
Why don't you come back for a nightcap?
Why don't I make us some coffee? You two can natter while I'm in the kitchen. That'll satisfy both of you.
Do we need satisfaction?
I'll be in what Charles believes is my rightful place, and you, spooky brother, won't have to talk in code. I'll close the door, and I promise not to listen at the keyhole.
Well, in truth, dear boy, I did want a word.
So Mary gathered. No thanks. Not for me.
Have you no vices, dear heart?
If I had, your crowd would be the first to know, wouldn't they?
You'd be surprised what escapes us, even now.
That's a relief.
Even when it's in your own parish?
Henry, if you're trying to tell me something, please get on with it. There's a vote at 10.
We think there's a bit of a problem in the columns.
Yes, we have a majority of 3. I could have told you that. What sort of problem?
I'm afraid it's more who than what.
For goodness sake, Henry, stop talking in anagrams. I'm not the Times crossword.
Sadly, dear heart, someone in our solemnly elected forum has been rather naughty. An enthusiast for the cult of glasnost, it would seem.
You mean someone's bent?
Almost double, as far as we can tell.
Hell's teeth, a member?
Yes. As to whom, we'd rather not say at the moment.
What the blazes do you mean?
There are very good reasons, I can assure you, dear boy.
Then why tell me anything?
We wouldn't mind playing this one along for a little while, and, well, we'd like to keep it, shall we say, unofficial.
What about number 10?
We haven't mentioned it.
Why ever not? Well, what about your own minister? Surely he knows.
Why, surely. There are ways and ways, you know that.
What about the opposition?
If you mean the security service, really, Charles, we are on the same side, after all.
Oh, don't give me that twaddle, Henry. You wouldn't trust each other with a bent penny in a public lavatory.
again we have our reasons.
This sounds more their line of country. They're homeside rat catchers, you're foreign.
As in all twilights, there are certain grey areas.
Hang it all, Henry. If you're saying an MP's mixed up with espionage or something, then... well, it's one for the PM, not me. Well, certainly the Home Secretary. What's more...
Once it becomes official, then, let's say, others get involved.
My godfather, James. Why bring me in?
We are not exactly flavour of the month with number 10.
Neither of you is. Anyone who mentions MI5 or your crowd is likely to find themselves in the debit column of the reshuffle list.
But if a trusted family retainer such as yourself casually mentioned our interest...
You are off your chump. You don't casually mention something like this. This is standing up in front of the Chippendale stuff.
I suspect it's a little too early for swords and medals. If, however, you could hint that it would be best not to disturb the pool by calling in the clumsies or the plods...
but that would be number 10's tacit approval for whatever you have in mind.
Couldn't have put it better myself.
Oh, I'm sure you could. Sorry, old thing. I see what you're driving at, but it's not good enough.
Don't see why.
Even if I agreed to talk to the PM, I'd need to give at least some reassurance that we weren't going to be dropped in the clag.
I'm not sure there's anything else I can tell you.
You're straining our family relationship, Henry. You really must tell me who he's working for. Assuming you're right, that is.
Oh, we're right, dear boy. Very right indeed.
Okay, so, who's he working for?
He? Who said anything about a he?
Is well aware of the problem. The Prime Minister has already told the House...
Order!
We are...
Order! Members... Order! If members can't contain themselves, I will have to suspend the House. Mr. Secretary Baxter.
Mr. Speaker, the Right Honourable and Honourable members opposite have demonstrated what they think of freedom of speech, the very substance of this debate, and should remove any doubts that may have existed as to the ulterior motives of the opposition motion.
The question is that this House has no confidence in the government's policy of controlling public information. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye! As many as are of the contrary opinion say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Clear the lobbies.
Ah, there you are.
Ah, Charles.
That was all pretty straightforward, wasn't it?
I was looking all over the place for you earlier.
Sorry, I got caught up.
I assume it was important.
As ever, Dougal, correct in your judgment. Anyway, you didn't need me, nor anyone else tonight.
Pretty close, though.
Aren't they always nowadays?
What was this nonsense about old Barker?
He was supposed to be paired. They just pulled at the last moment.
Couldn't we have got him in?
Dougal, he's in intensive care. He's wired up to more machines than GCHQ.
Oh, really? Nevertheless, it's a bit nerve-wracking, I can tell you.
I'm sure he'd sooner be here than where he is.
Yes, I suppose so. By the way, how is he?
By the way, not very good.
Poor chap.
His sentiments entirely.
Yes, of course.
I'm afraid the gloves are off. They'll be going for a confidence vote next, and we only need a bad winter, and... well, who knows what a by-election might bring.
Same applies to them.
I'm not sure. I've been checking their geriatric list. We've got more than they have. You might mention it at Chequers this weekend. No hot votes this winter, please.
I'm not there this weekend.
Oh, yes, you are. Huh? I hear 10 is a bit niggled about something. Could be across the water.
Northern Ireland is not mine.
Don't be coy, Dougal. Anyway, you're down for lunch.
You sure about this? Nobody's told me.
Your private office knows already?
Oh, thanks. Useful to keep ahead of them. Tell me, Charles, you haven't heard a buzz, have you?
What sort of buzz?
Or you tell me. You're the man with his ear to the ground, or so the papers tell me.
There's always a rumour about something.
This is about somebody.
You obviously know more than I do. Who's the victim this time?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
Well, There has been a little murmur in the bazaar. Nothing more than that.
If I'm at Checkers, and for that I owe you, I don't want any surprises from the sheriff.
What makes you think our leader knows something?
Our leader always knows something. And if there's a scandal brewing...
Is that what you think?
I don't know, but I do want to know before the white telephone goes and guess who's up at the dispatch box immediately after PMQs.
Mention this to anyone else?
No, no one. Now look, Charles, I'll level with you. I think there's something going on. And for reasons that I can't quite figure out, it's more than simple dirt and gossip. You know what this place is like. You get feelings.
What are your feelings telling you?
That you're interested enough to know that something's going on.
Oh, I've heard this and that.
What exactly?
Oh, don't worry yourself, Dougal. I've been protecting your back ever since we were at school. I won't stop now.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Your PPS was looking for you, Mr. Baxter. Could you ring through, he said.
When was that?
About 5 minutes back, sir. Said if I saw you to ask you to give him a bell.
Thanks, Arthur, I will do.
Right you are, sir.
Your weekend confirmed by the sound of it.
It could be. I bet he knows.
Hawkins, ask him.
You're not taking this seriously.
I am. But don't get so worked up. What can it be? Sex, insider dealing, hand in the till? With luck it'll be the whole lot. It'll divert attention. Look on the bright side.
Yes, why not? May even be our very own and blessed leader.
A warning, Dougal. Don't wear too much ambition on your sleeve. In these interesting times, that might be construed as, well,
treason.
You said it.
Morning. Hello, darling. Mrs. Arnold's not in today, just toast.
Oh, can you do it, Mummy? I'm no good with that stupid thing. Morning, Daddy.
Really, Polly, it's only a toaster. It's hardly IBM compatible.
Go on, please. I always burn the rotten stuff.
Once you know how, it's very user-friendly.
What's all this compatible and user-friendly thing?
My agent's convinced me that my next book's got to be done on a word processor. I'm practicing the jargon.
Get a smart one. It'll write the thing for you.
An agent or a word processor?
That's what agents are, aren't they? Word processors.
You don't have to explain every punchline, darling. You were a bit late last night, weren't you?
Come off it, Mummy. 1 o'clock's hardly pumpkin time.
Was he interesting?
Don't be nosy.
So he was.
Did Nella Reese ask you about all your boyfriends?
Never.
I don't believe it.
Your grandmother was too frightened to ask.
Oh, but you're not.
There you are, perfectly cindered. I'm part of the Protestant backlash. Anyway, to mothers, all boyfriends are interesting.
He insisted on buying expensive seats, which meant that I couldn't see all the orchestra.
He probably meant well.
And then he spent the rest of the evening telling me what Elgar was on about and how Kennedy is too influenced by jazz.
Oh, dear. Until 1 in the morning?
Of course not. At 10 to 10 sharp, he put on a loud voice and said he had to dash off and vote. He only did it to impress the restaurant.
And left you there?
Vote? Who was voting? Who are we talking about?
So it speaks. Morning, Daddy. Didn't see you behind the newspaper.
Who'd you say was voting?
Don't worry, he was one of yours. Harrow, Trinity, geese and hawks, and the most exquisite undershot jaw.
Don't tell me you're getting your boyfriend's mail order from Who's Who.
Does this well-bred throwback have a name?
Young Nick Beresford. They went to the Kennedy concert.
Oh, him. Oh, seems okay. Knew his father. Might make a decent PPS.
Positively puny and snore-making.
You might well be right.
Actually, he's not too bad. There's lots about spiders and creepy crawlies.
Should do well, then. Plenty of those in the house.
Can't see why you went out with him if he's so appalling.
He asked me. You know me, just can't say no.
I hope you can, Polly.
Mummy, you know what I mean.
I suppose we do. Any more coffee, darling?
Anyway, how's Em? Sinister and silky as ever?
You shouldn't be so rude about your Uncle Henry.
Why not? She's perfectly right. Thanks. He was silky and sinister as ever. Oh, which reminds me, darling, we can't lunch today. I'm meeting him at the club.
Ah, dear. Here we go again.
No, we're not. Simply a spot of lunch.
Uncle Hen never simply has a spot of lunch. What is it this time? A quick assassination? A palace revolution? Or is it what Nick calls a rumour of something untoward?
I thought you were doing music, not drama.
What was that about Beresford?
Nothing. He kept asking me last night if I'd heard anything about a rumour at the house.
The house is the original rumour factory.
Well, why ask you? In spite of your regular appearances in the gossip columns, you haven't taken to writing them. Or have you?
Don't be horrid. He simply wanted to know if I'd heard you mentioning anything untoward, as he called it.
That's all I know. Damn curious, if you ask me. When you're ready, George.
He didn't give you any clues?
Home secretaries don't give anything away, especially this one. When he was a child, he got chickenpox like the rest of us, but refused to come out in spots.
He certainly has a reputation for playing things close to his chest.
That's rich coming from you. Yes, please, George.
But he said he'd heard more than one rumour.
Morning, Mr. Bannister. Club gin and tonic.
Thanks, George. I'll make it 2. Yes, but I shouldn't read too much into that. Anyway, it may be something entirely different.
Good gracious me, dear boy, don't say that. We have enough problems with this cove.
So it is a he, is it?
2 G&Ts, Mr. Bannister.
Thanks, George.
Get your message card, did you, sir?
When was that?
Just before you came in. Wasn't a member. Mr. Beresford, I think.
Thanks. Cheers. Curiouser and curiouser.
2 large pinkers, George. Right with you, Admiral.
What's that, then?
Perhaps we can trade, Henry.
Ooh, can we indeed?
Perhaps we can.
And does this mean you've had a word with someone not a million miles from number 10?
And what you've told me, don't be so ridiculous.
I'm rarely that, dear boy.
Very well, then. Forget it.
What do you have in mind?
Trade?
Maybe.
Do you know young Nick Beresford?
Got in the last election? Not really. Knew his father, though.
Yes, he's that sort of chap.
Knocking around with Polly, isn't he?
How the blazes did you know?
Mary must have mentioned it.
Rubbish. Even I didn't know until this morning.
Well, you know what they say, dear boy. Wives and fathers are the last to know.
Why on earth should Mary tell you? I don't believe you.
My dear Charles, I swear.
No, I certainly don't believe you.
Well, I'm sorry about that. Why should I be interested in Beresford?
Do you know where they were last night?
Should I?
Apparently Beresford gave her dinner.
Very generous. Now, Charles...
He was asking Polly if I'd mentioned any rumours.
Did he know? What sort of rumours?
That's all I know.
With respect, Charles, that's a bit vague. And there's Nenke, what's it, or whoever might have said, nothing to do with the case.
You've got to admit it's a bit odd. You tell me that some MP is bent double, as you call it. The same evening, the Home Secretary and then young Beresford start asking questions.
And what's his version?
Haven't had a chance to speak to him.
I should be a little circumspect if I were you.
Thanks for your guidance, Henry.
What did you tell her?
Polly? Nothing to tell her.
Well, they may be quite soon. That's why we need some sort of hint dropped unofficially in the right ear.
Don't be potty. I've been thinking it through. Once the sheriff gets a whiff, there'll have to be a full brief. Maybe even the JIC.
I think not, Charles.
In spite of what you think, this could actually kick off an election.
Handled properly, it needn't.
You mean handled your way?
Dear heart, surely we're on the same side. Our interests are the same.
If they are, then it's pure coincidence.
Sometimes, Charles, your wisdom and mandarinic guile fail to make the simplest of connections.
If you got everything so much under control, then you don't need my help.
No, don't be so hasty, dear boy. Just let me say that we have a common interest in keeping this government in, or rather the other lot out.
Let me say, dear Henry, that with a shaky minority, the PM may just want to go to the country.
Hardly.
Oh, don't be so naive. After all the flack we've taken about security and intelligence, now we've got some pinko dissenter of theirs in our sights. We destroy them. A 50 majority at least.
An admirable scenario, Charles, except for one major flaw. The pinko deserter you describe is not one of theirs. He's one of yours.
Blimey, Mr. Bannister, I reckon dear old Elgar would have been proud of him.
Well, you obviously enjoyed it.
Seen him 27 times, you know. Bit of a fan, so to speak.
I wasn't sure it was you.
Spotted young Mr. Beresford in the front row. Then I sees you.
Well, I usually sit where you were.
Yeah, you can't work the choir stalls, I say. I likes to get a good butcher's at the old conductor. Especially that Mr. Handley.
Well, you've got a lot in common. There's not many people who wear white tie and tails for work.
Ah, that's right, miss. Head waiters, musicians, and us badge messengers.
You're the only one who wears a stiff shirt in the middle of the afternoon.
Well, it's tradition, indeed. Anyway, I had 28 years in the mob. I'm used to uniforms.
I suppose it's the same as Dad. He still wears a stiff collar every day.
Mr. Bannister's one of the old school, if you don't mind me saying so. Between you and me, miss, some of the younger members will...
Talking of stiff upper collars. Hello, you.
And you. What a nice surprise. What are you up to?
Afternoon, sir.
Mr. Hawkins?
If I see him, miss, I'll tell him you're here.
Oh, if you're going through, Mr. Hawkins, mention I'm back in, will you?
Right you are, sir. Nice to see you, miss.
Bye now.
The central lobby isn't your normal stamping ground.
Just checking what time democracy gets back from lunch.
Anyway, who's Hawkins looking for?
Do you know, he was at the festival hall last night.
Where do you expect him to be? Having a knees up in the spit and sawdust?
I didn't mean it like that. I was surprised, that's all.
This place is full of them.
You look worried. What's wrong?
Nothing important.
Yes, it is. We're tugging your ear.
Rubbish. You still haven't told me what you're doing here.
Nick's promised to give me tea.
Whatever for?
Oh, thanks very much, Father dear.
Well, I thought you didn't think he was up to much.
Oh, he's okay.
You two, still friendly then?
Yes, I suppose so, for the moment.
How friendly?
Occasional dinner, maybe lunch.
Nothing else?
Never breakfast, if that's what you're asking.
Polly, of course I'm not. No, it's just at the moment... Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't pry.
Not if you do it so clumsily, no, you shouldn't.
I was puzzled that he was asking about rumours.
I told you this morning there was nothing to it. We were just chatting.
What about?
Come on, Dad. Nothing. Music, I think. Probably about Georgi buying my old cello.
Who he?
Georgi Mojitsky at the embassy. You know, the one who comes to the chamber group.
Wasn't he the one who...
My famous party. Yes, he was. And we sometimes meet at St. John's.
What's this got to do with Beresford?
I think he's jealous.
You're not knocking around with this sov, are you?
He's rather nice.
Is he indeed?
I thought they were on our side now.
And you were talking about this, Georgie.
Georgi.
Yeah, this Georgi wallow when Beresford started on about rumours.
I really can't remember. It wasn't that important.
But he didn't suddenly say, had I mentioned any rumours?
Well, he might have done. I really don't know. Look, Dad, if it's that important, why don't you ask him yourself? It's really beautiful. When I hear him, I sometimes wish I'd stuck to the fiddle instead of the cello.
How many do you smoke a day, Polly?
Somebody said he wrote this movement first.
How many?
Maybe 10. Does it matter?
Of course it does. Don't you think it does?
It does to you.
I just think it's sad at your age.
You know, it's amazing. On practically everything else, you're totally unmummish. You stick 2 fingers up at most things, but...
Unmummish doesn't stop me being your mother.
Okay, forget it. I'm sorry. First it was Dad, and now it's you.
Well, he doesn't like you smoking any more than I do.
It wasn't that. He wanted to know about Nick.
Did you tell him?
Tell him what? He was only interested in silly old rumours or something.
Your father never regards rumours as silly.
I don't know what it is, but Nick's a bit worried.
About what?
I'm not sure, but I know he got very tipsy the other night.
At the concert? Surely not.
No, last week. He went along to one of those embassy parties and had too much vodka.
I didn't think the Russians had vodka anymore. Isn't it all part of perestroika or something?
It wasn't the Sovs, the Bulgarians.
Oh, dear. Was he somewhat indiscreet, as your father would say?
Don't honestly know.
I see. Have you mentioned this to your father?
Not likely. He nearly blew a fuse when I told him about Red George.
Oh, dear. And more dears. What exactly did you say?
I think I said Georgi was rather sweet and that Nick was a bit jealous.
Do they know each other?
Absolutely. That's why Nick's jealous. I think it's rather nice.
I hadn't realised any of this was serious.
It's not.
It certainly sounds it. Sherry?
Please. Only if you think like parents. Georgi is sweet and good fun
And Russian.
Right. Well, that's part of the fun. Nick's Nick. You know, pretty standard stuff, really.
You're pretty blasé. You've got a Russian spy and an up-and-coming politician at your feet, and you dismiss it as everyday fun.
Thanks. Georgi isn't a spy. He's a cultural attaché.
That's good enough for your father. Cheers. And goodness knows what they'll make of it in the constituency. You coming down this weekend? We've got people in for drinks on Sunday morning.
Thanks for the warning. No, I'm staying here. Nick's people are home.
Oh, he's not taking you home to Mother, is he?
Hardly. Wrong address.
Ours or theirs?
Ours. He's frightfully ambitious. He told me today that he intends to be Prime Minister.
Did he now? Did he give you any indication when he expects to move in?
What's the point of going into politics if you don't want real power?
Not another saying of Chairman Beresford.
Daddy thinks Nick's up to something, doesn't he?
Is he?
I shouldn't think so. He just wants to be Prime Minister.
Isn't this rather dramatic? Absurd?
My dear boy, I bow to your parliamentary experience in all matters of drama and absurdity.
Henry, 10 o'clock in the morning is no time to be strolling through St. James's Park like a couple of mandarins in some spy film.
But that's exactly what we are. D'accord?
D'accord, my foot. This isn't a game.
I can assure you, Charles, I've never believed it to be anything of the sort. That's why we're here. A delightfully sunny morning, an almost empty park, you, me, and our friends the ducks.
And anyone who should happen to walk through to the house or Whitehall.
So, we're brothers-in-law, most natural. Anyways, I hardly list my calling in Who's Who.
I'm seeing the Prime Minister at 11.
Good, good.
It's on a private matter.
Even better, Charles. How clever of you.
Don't be patronizing.
I assure you.
That's one thing you don't do. There's a further complication. You know Ten's about to fix the date for the Moscow visit.
We do have a certain input. Yes, we do know.
Well, damn it all. Imagine what would happen if this whole thing blew up during that.
Trusting things, ducks. But deceptive. They're not all they appear to be.
Henry, this is no time to discuss ducks.
Children love to feed them, but it's really against the rules. And they can turn against one.
If this is supposed to be some deep form of allegory, you've lost me.
I'm merely pointing out that things aren't what they seem.
That's exactly what the PM will say. The next thing, Dougal Baxter will be called in, and all your ideas about keeping this in Century House will be blown sky high.
That mustn't happen, Charles. That would be most disagreeable.
Baxter thinks it may surface at Chequers this weekend.
Baxter is not the brightest of Home Secretaries.
He knows how to protect his back.
Then he won't bear it. If he raises a rumour, he's going to look appropriately stupid if he's asked for details but can't come up with any.
Which is why I can't do anything unless you tell me who it is.
Let's walk, shall we? What if I told you we don't know?
Not good enough.
We don't.
Henry, you can't really expect...
Hear me out, dear boy, hear me out. I promise you, we know someone is bent. For reasons I can't go into, we've narrowed it down to 2, perhaps 3. But we need a little more time.
Then why tell me in the first place?
Because, as I said before, we need the tacit approval of the sheriff to tie it up, without any interference.
By interference, you mean the security service. 10 will never agree.
That's up to you and your powers of persuasion.
You lot just want to prove you're better than they are.
The problem is much deeper, dear boy.
Surely MI5's the one organisation that should know what's going on.
As the ducks were trying to tell you, Charles, that is exactly my point.
Someone in MI5 does know?
Go on.
No. You go on, Henry. I can't believe all this.
Why not? It wouldn't be the first time.
You're asking me to accept that a member of Parliament, one of ours, is...
Spying?
And someone in the security service knows and hasn't done anything about it? Why?
Ask the ducks, dear heart.
In that episode of The House, you heard Julian Glover as Charles Bannister, Timothy West as Dougal Baxter, Sarah Bedell as Mary Bannister, Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colvil, Sheila Reid as Rose, James Garbett as Arthur, and Ruth Gemmell as Polly Bannister. The Speaker of the House was played by David McAllister and George by Danny Schiller. Other parts were played by Ken Cumberledge, Ian Targett, David Googe, John Bull, David King, Christopher Scott, Charles Simpson, Brian Miller, and Michael Kilgariff. The House was written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin. The House by Christopher Lee, starring Julian Glover as Charles Bannister and Timothy West as Dougal Baxter.
So, we live in interesting times, eh?
Dear boy, why, there you are. Hope you didn't mind. Took your appointment as you were a bit adrift.
Mr. Colvil said you wouldn't mind, sir.
Mr. Colville knew my mind perfectly.
That's the ticket. Not too short, remember. Yes, sir. Now, Charles, what news on the Rialto?
Oh, everyone's walking, talking and eating as ever, but so far it adds up to nothing more than rumour.
Ah, rumour. That pipe blown by surmises, jealousies and conjectures.
We are in a literary mood this morning.
We Henrys tend to quote each other, dear boy. By the by, any more from our friend in Queen Anne's Gate?
Maybe. Nothing to part on, though.
I take it you have him under control in spite of his esteemed and privy office.
You forget I was his fag.
And you still make his toast and boil his eggs. How touching. Unfortunately, time's running short.
So you keep telling me.
One of the team's playing dirty. One of your players is passing information to a foreign side. Your former prefect seems unaware. Isn't that odd?
Well, perhaps it isn't. He's been asking for me this morning.
How touching. You can tell him that my consultancy should be allowed to investigate such unsportsmanlike behaviour.
Why not simply have him sent off?
Dear boy. First we must make sure he's the only dirty player on the field.
That's unlikely. You'd have spotted him.
Your political mind, uninhibited by logic. Deception and discretion are bedfellows in this game. That's why we need tacit approval to proceed, shall we say, unofficially.
Only one person can give that.
And who better to seek it than you, Charles, the trusted retainer of the Most High Herod?
And if you don't get it?
Then, dear bro, the game will get very dirty indeed.
There you are, Mr. Colville. How's that?
Oh, fine, fine. Get my point, dear boy.
Anything on it, sir?
No, thanks. Understand?
You're certain about this?
Absolutely.
And you think someone in the director's box knows and isn't saying anything?
Right. Must lose some weight. Here. That'll be fine.
Thank you very much indeed, sir.
This, protection implies partnership.
Most disagreeable.
How high?
Exceedingly. Thanks.
Curzon Street?
Could be.
Or is?
The clumsies are noticeable by their absence, don't you think?
Listen, young Beresford's got some problems. Is he involved?
Again, could be. Can't say.
All right. Then what about this overseas player, Mojitsky?
Could be coordinating foul play. Knows a lot of people, including, might I say, Beresford and even Polly.
Well, she knows him, yes, but for goodness sake, I know my own daughter.
Of course you do. It's a matter of interest. The Suave was at a recital with her.
You haven't got a watch on her, have you?
Charles, you're jumping all sorts of fences that aren't there. Following my own niece, perish the thought, dear heart.
If there's a cock-up on this one, it'll be more than thoughts that'll perish. You'll be against the wall with the rest of them. Understood?
That's rather an abrasive attitude, dear boy.
It comes easy, and don't you forget it.
It's a gorgeous smell, isn't it? Reminds me of lovely mornings and pavement cafes. Do you remember Avignon last year?
Just shows how deceptive smells can be. This is mediocre coffee, and Avignon was full of drains.
That was Daddy's version.
Foreigners, their drains and parties. Public enemies 1, 2 and 3 as far as he's concerned.
Well, they'll probably make him Foreign Secretary then.
Watch him at this reception tonight. He's good for 10 minutes polite conversation per foreigner, and then it's, "Have you met my wife?" And he's gone with not so much as a willow, titwillow, titwillow.
He's getting really ratty about Georgi.
Russians are worse than foreigners. I'm afraid Red George is one of them as far as your father's concerned.
That's daft. He's only the cultural attaché.
So you keep saying, but that doesn't make him pure as the driven steps.
And now Uncle Hen's started. He's worse than Daddy.
Your Uncle Henry does that sort of thing instinctively. When was this?
Wednesday, in St. John's. I'd been to the lunchtime, like today's.
And?
Georgi had just left, and so Uncle Hen made some joke about him poking off when it was getting expensive. I suppose he meant the lunch.
I wish you wouldn't use those expressions.
What expressions?
Never mind. Is that all?
I don't know. Anyway, I told him to mind his own business.
For someone who spends most of his time minding other people's, that didn't get many laughs, I bet.
It's nothing to joke about. You know, sometimes he's got really horrid piggy eyes. He wasn't Uncle Hen at all.
Wigton's up to something. The little sod always is.
It'll be an SO9, if anything. None of his own lot seems to know.
I told you yesterday something was going on. I bloody well knew.
SO9s come up all the time. What's bothering you?
The little runt saw my PPS, told him I'd better be in the chamber. Why their people can't keep a grip of him, I don't know.
Come on, Dougal. Wigton doesn't take a blind bit of notice of anyone.
I would be top for bloody questions, wouldn't I?
If it comes, it'll probably be after PMQs, but he'll have you guessing from 2:30 just the same.
Might I have a turning word? Won't take a tick.
I'm going back. We're going to have time for lunch?
Just a minute, Nicholas. I think we better make time. Rag okay?
We need to grip this one, Charles. It's trouble. I feel it in my water.
Oh, dear. I seem to have picked the wrong time.
What do you hear, then?
Whip's office.
They say he's got hold of something.
He's talking to someone just
Any
now.
idea
Can I
what?
get him to
He
call
won't
you?
say. In fact, he hasn't been around.
Well, someone must be saying something, surely.
Excuse me, Mr. Bannister. Number 10 wants to know what the SO9's about.
Well, how the blazes do we know? We don't even know if there's going to be one. Tell them we'll get back.
They say it's urgent. The press are asking.
3 minutes, tell them. Is this what you wanted me for?
Mr. Bannister
Not
said
exactly.
he'd be back in 3 minutes. That's
Oh,
all
then
right?
it'll have to wait. Look,
Just a
see if you
moment.
can find out anything.
I was rather hoping to get a game of squash at lunchtime.
Forget it, unless it's with Wigton.
Absolutely. How do I find out?
Ask, but get your thumb out of your bum and get on with it.
They say we must have some idea.
Well, tell them to ask Wigton. It's his blasted question, not ours.
Mr. Bannister's just gone into the lobby. He promised to ring as soon as he hears anything, all right? Bye.
Well done, stupid people. Anyone wants me, you haven't seen me, all right?
Whip's office. Just a mo. Mr. Bannister! Mr.
What?
Mr. Colvil.
Okay.
Panic.
Henry?
Anyone think the bleeding Russians were marching up Whitehall?
I suppose I better be running along then.
Well, when do you hear that?
Nothing like being quick on the uptake. Head down and ear to the ground, as that nice Mr. Crossland used to say.
Absolutely. Well, I expect I'll see you later then.
Not if I see you first.
No, you listen to me, Henry. 2:00, and you best bring some answers. Someone switched on the fan, and whatever hits it is going to fly.
Barker. He's not still in intensive care. How infuriating.
He's an old man, Dougal. He might pull through, but it could still mean a by-election.
No way we'd be hammered out of sight. You only need Wigton to balls things up.
Dougal, shouldn't you let me in?
Well, actually, there is something that you should know.
You're so kind, I was beginning to wonder.
Oh, it's quite serious.
Your inclination towards a self-inflicted cardiac arrest suggests nothing else.
This one's really classified. Cobra.
I'm not cleared.
Privy Council?
Doesn't apply.
You should know.
I'm not even PV'd. Anyway, what do you mean by quite serious?
For quite, read very.
Oh,
This
that's
for you, sir.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it's up to you.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
Thank you, yes,
right.
that's fine, thank you.
And we may have a security leak.
Where?
I don't know, but this one's a probable, not a possible.
If you don't know, who says?
The old firm. At least one of them.
How far's it gone?
Oh, it hasn't.
JIC?
Well, you know better than that, Charles.
I don't, but who else knows? 10?
No, not yet.
That may not be wise.
I only heard myself this morning. Listen, I've been told unofficially, that's all.
But, Dougal, they can't tell you unofficially. You're the Home Secretary. That makes it official.
Depends on who's doing the telling. It hasn't come from the DG.
You said it was the old firm. Who else could have...
Well, there's one or two. Ever since
So?
that bloody Wright fiasco, I've kept one ear open. This one's more than a rumour. The story is, well, let's say it could be too close to home.
One of ours, you mean? Someone in the house?
Exactly.
I'm getting similar noises.
From the lobby?
No, different firm.
Oh, that brother-in-law of yours, yes, of course.
Can't say. You're certain about this?
No, of course I'm not. That's why Wigton's giving me the abdabs.
Tackle the DG.
Well, how? Call him in? Ask him what the hell's going on?
He is yours.
And so why hasn't he asked to see me? That's something else I don't know. If I tell him that one of his own people's been talking, oh, forget it, Charles.
It's nearly 2. You better be getting back. If he does anything, it'll be after PMQs. That gives us an hour and a half.
Oh, sod the man.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. From what I hear, I doubt if he knows anything. Maybe a sniff, nothing more.
Well, that's more than we can handle, Charles. One sniff from Wigton is pneumonia all round.
Fabulous. And all for £3. They don't serve this at Lockett's.
They would, if it had enough calories. Mind you, it was a little stodgy in places. Winter was a bit of a drag, but then it is, isn't it? Anyway, thanks for coming.
I enjoyed it. I haven't seen Uncle Henry.
He was at the back last time. Perhaps you frightened him away.
Is Red George here?
I didn't see him. I expect he's looking after the Bolshoi crowd.
Ah, so he'll be there this evening.
As long as Uncle Hen gives his permission.
There you are. Guess what? I was hoping you'd be here.
Who gave you a free ticket?
Hello, you must be...
Sorry, Mummy, this is Nick Beresford.
How do you do, Mrs. Bannister? I've seen you, of course.
Why, of course?
Oh,
It's
well...
right. Mummy's in one of her obtuse moods. Did you like it?
Rather. Actually, I'm not really supposed to be here. I was looking for Dennis Wigton.
I'd have thought a good hunger lunch was more his bag.
He's not quite the cloth cap he pretends he is.
The papers say he's one of the original cloggies.
Certainly my mother would never have invited his mother to tea, as someone once said.
Anyway, there's your nice flat-capped cloggy on his way out now.
No, excuse me.
What a prat. I thought you said he was okay.
Mummy, such language.
And those shoes. Yuck! Gold chains.
Do you think Granny Reese ever asked Mrs. Bannister to tea?
Just close your eyes and you're in Edwardian St. James's. Scarlet uniforms, crinolines, parasols.
And when the music stopped, they put down their trombones and marched off to the song.
We do this sort of thing rather well, don't you think?
Military two-steps or killing? Dougal surprised me. You should have warned me.
Couldn't. You're sure the DG hasn't been in?
Does it matter?
Ties in with Theory 1. Someone at the top is holding back.
You still think they've got someone in Gower Street?
Well, whether he's part of this, can't say.
Eli?
Dead.
Sure?
Who is? But we have another name.
But not Eli.
Who's his throat?
He won't say, which is why he won't call in the DG. He says he's got to protect his source.
In whom he trusts, tra-la.
Frankly, it no longer matters, tra-la.
Handled properly, we can still control matters, my dear.
You really do live in the land of scarlet and crinoline, don't you? Screw that monocle of yours well in and have a look at reality, Henry. Try and read tomorrow's headlines.
You're being melodramatic. Given 24 hours, we can save you from any headlines.
It's a mess. We don't have 24 hours.
No, it's not. And yes, we do.
Look, according to you, a government MP is passing secrets, although you don't know who it is. Someone in MI5's protecting him. The Home Secretary's got a hint of it, but he's too frightened to call in 5's DG.
Not his type of person, anyway.
We've got a majority of 3, and every opinion poll suggests the country's having second thoughts. And that's not a mess?
Even more reason to give us a free hand. You must speak to your Herod.
By 3:45, if Wigton has his way, I won't have to.
Charles, my way means instant knighthoods all round.
What's a free hand?
Private searches, bank accounts, and 4 taps.
Dougal would give you that.
He might. Better the PM.
Well, what's so difficult about taps? Happening all the time using System X, nobody need know.
Unless there's a CM on the line.
But that covers only maybe 5, perhaps 6 cabinet ministers.
I wondered when the penny would drop, dear. I really do think it's time you call on Herod, don't you?
Well, someone must. It's jolly important, you know.
Well, I don't. Haven't seen him since before lunch. If it's that important, he'll be looking for you.
But he asked me to find out something.
And did you?
Well, no, not exactly. But that's the point.
I'm sure it is. I suppose you looked in the chamber. Hello, Whip's office.
Actually, no, I thought...
Not at the moment. I'll get him to
I think
call
he might
you.
be in there.
OK, will do. Hang on a mo. It's PMQs in 10 minutes. Where else would he be?
Right, of course. How silly. Bye.
Bleeding right, how silly. What? Not you. Sorry. He might be in the chamber. Give it till about 4. Cheers.
Who are you cheering?
So, there you are. Number 12. You're OK till 4.
Bless you. Anything else?
Mr. Beresford, you must have just passed him. Whatever it was you wanted, he hasn't found it.
Charles, what's going on? Where's the boss?
Not coming.
You're joking.
Dougal, as you've said yourself, I don't.
It's nearly 3:15.
Well, Harry's taking them. Come on, we better go.
There'll be a riot.
Rioting's against the law. As Home Secretary, you should know that.
Hello, Whip's office. Oh, just a mo.
Not now, Rose. I'm going in.
It's the Westminster Hospital. It's Mr. Barker's consultant.
conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I'm sure the whole House will join in wishing a speedy recovery to the member for Scotland.
Brilliant, Charles. Struck a brilliance.
Mr. Speaker, the House will recognise the unusual and, may I say, sad circumstances which have kept the Prime Minister from coming to the House this afternoon.
It would have been, to say the least, churlish to have expected any other reaction.
Business of the House. Mr. Speaker, the House will be...
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Oh, hello, party's over.
Order! Mr. Speaker, the House will be pleased to know.
Order!
Here we go.
Order, Mr. Speaker. Yes. Order! Members must not... Order! I will hear the member's point of order. I hope it's relevant to the business of the House. Mr. Wigton. Mr. Speaker, may I endorse the sentiments expressed by this side of the House in the matter of the health of the honourable member for Stockwell.
What's the little bugger up to?
However, order! While I'm sympathetic to the sentiments expressed by the member for Oldsby, I don't quite see what it has to do with the business now being considered... Mr. Speaker, I was about... Order! As the Prime Minister is not in the House, members have been deprived of the answer to a question of national importance. Furthermore... Order! Furthermore,
I must
Mr.
ask the
Speaker...
member for Oldsby to
Mr.
reserve...
Speaker, it is a matter of national security, of spying, and it's your job, your job to make sure you don't collaborate with the Prime Minister's dishonest, devious and cowardly trick of going to see someone in hospital as a cover-up. Order! That is an outrageous statement, totally out of order. The member for Oldsby must withdraw it immediately.
He's blown it, Charles.
Has he, Hal? He may have said nothing, but that was exactly enough.
This means I'll have to call in 5.
Of course. But before you do, there's someone I'd like you to meet. What the blazes was all that about?
Don't give me that crap. You know damn well.
I might have if you hadn't got yourself named.
Even fixed that, didn't you? It's a bloody cover-up. But it won't be, I can tell you.
I haven't a clue what you're on about. None of us has.
Somebody in this place is bent. None of your insider dealing nonsense. That's kid stuff. Real bent, I mean.
Dennis, if you have any reasonable suspicions, then you know the procedures. I'd only be too glad to help.
Don't patronise me, Bannister. You may be able to con the rest of the House with all this Prime Minister called to the bedside crap. But I know, I bloody know.
I took the call myself this afternoon. Ned Barker is very ill, very ill.
And since when did that hypocrite in number 10 give a tuppenny toss about anybody being ill?
The hospital says it's touch and go.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Honest. He's a nice old sod, is Barker, but this afternoon had your hand stamped all over it.
Don't be ridiculous. You got yourself named, I didn't, and over nothing.
Well, if it's nothing, why are you here now?
You have my utmost assurance, Wigton, my utmost your cover-up theory doesn't hold water.
It holds more than that, mate. You can tell the Prime Bloody Minister there's no point in hiding under Barker's bed. When I was a lad, we had a jerry under ours, and I'm about to empty it.
Actually, I thought he'd rather forgotten about me.
Mr. Beresford, I'm sure you of all people are always in his thoughts.
Do you really think so?
Ah, good. Nicholas. Rose, have you got this evening's guest list?
Oh, number 10 sent it over. It's gone, but I know who's got it. Won't be a jiff.
Ah, Nicholas, you wanted to tell me something.
Well, it doesn't seem very important now.
Polly tells me you've been asking about rumours.
Oh, I didn't think she'd mention it. It was, well, rather private.
Rumours are never private, Nicholas. That's the point of them.
I suppose so. Well, it was just there was some talk.
About what?
Well, I heard there might be 2 PPSs appointed.
What's this got to do with Wigton?
Gosh, nothing as far as I know.
Then you've lost me.
I was wondering, well, if... You see, I thought...
You mean all this rumour business and you wanting to see me was about you becoming a PPS?
Absolutely.
My giddy aunt and godfather James.
I know I could do it. I'm frightfully keen, you know.
You're sure no one else knows about this meeting, Charles?
Henry arrived an hour ago. Your own protection doesn't know he's here. This is my private home. They're unlikely to come bursting in demanding name, rank and number.
It's irregular. Simply not on talking to... well, anyone other than the
the DG.
Henry.
We believe there's a problem in that area.
Why should I hear this, Charles?
Because it goes beyond a security leak.
Will it surface?
We must assume so, at this stage anyway.
Maybe it's better I don't know.
With respect, Minister.
No, you don't have to face Parliament. If I don't know anything about it, I keep a straight face.
And if you have to go to the House with too little...
Then the intelligence community will be blamed for withholding information from a minister.
However, on the assumption that this conversation has never taken place...
Certainly.
Charles?
Agreed.
Okay. But only what I need to know, no more. Understood?
Perfectly.
Single syllables, please.
One of your MPs has been passing information to the STB.
ST what?
Czechoslovak intelligence.
I thought it was the Suave.
Nothing so mundane.
Who?
We're not sure. We've narrowed it down to one of two.
What sort of stuff?
Pretty low grade, so far. Radar frequencies, maybe sonar ranges.
Evidence?
With respect, Minister, you don't need to know.
All right. Problem two.
We also believe that someone in the security service has been handling him.
You mean onto him?
No, I mean it's possible that someone, a very senior someone, has been working for the STB or even the uncles.
Oh, no riddles, please.
The Czechoslovaks call the KGB the uncles.
It would explain why you haven't been briefed.
Not necessarily. Well, what are you asking for?
We need to wire 2 London flats and tap certain telephones.
I take it this is essential. I take it also that one of the phones is unlisted.
Very much so.
Alternatives?
None.
Well, I must see the PM.
The Prime Minister knows, at least, enough.
Since when?
I had a discreet word this afternoon.
Hence the diversion to Barker's bedside. You say, at least enough. What else is there?
You'll know this evening. That is, if you wish to.
How long will it take to make the technical arrangements?
You agree?
Do we have any choice, Charles?
I think not.
Agreed.
In anticipation of your agreement, Minister, the arrangements were put in hand this afternoon.
It comes to something when I have to come to a Downing Street reception to talk to my own husband.
It's important.
More than your own daughter?
Now what?
Polly thinks Henry's having her followed.
Nonsense.
She doesn't think so.
Excuse me, Mr. Bannister, there's a call for you.
Oh, thanks. I'll be right there. Look, I've had a word with Henry. He's not.
I'd put nothing past my dear brother.
Now, they've been watching this Morzitsky chappie. That's the connection. Nothing more than that.
What was Henry doing at the flat this evening?
He wasn't. Nor was anyone else, okay?
Charles, I'm not a child. I let him in.
You did not. Understand? Now, look, I'm sorry. I must take this call. Then I have to have a word with Dougal.
What time was this?
About half an hour ago.
Bugger it. As if we didn't have enough trouble.
I'm sure if he could have recovered consciousness, he would have apologized to you personally.
No, I'm sorry, Charles, but I'm being practical. It'll mean a by-election.
Yes, of course.
Oh, don't be so bloody sanctimonious. He'd had a good innings anyway. Does the boss know?
Not yet.
At least it justifies the bedside visit.
I've also spoken to our friend.
Any results?
He tells me that C has a meeting with the boss at 10 tonight. It appears we have a visitor.
What exactly does that mean?
A defector.
The smarmy bastard, he never mentioned it. That means names.
As our friend put it, his visitor has the highest connections.
Strange old morning. This time yesterday it was all hands to the pump.
I'm afraid there's still water in the bottom of the boat.
Is Talitchka really a big fish?
We heard the Prime Minister. He's asked for asylum and we've agreed.
He must be more than he says.
Don't see why.
All that stuff about cooperating with the appropriate authorities. Sounds like a bucket of beans spilling.
Well, it certainly left our Mr. Wigton sucking his thumb.
I wonder if old Mr. Barker knew he didn't want to go home.
Why on earth should he?
They were good mates. When I worked in the committee office, him and Talitchka used to meet regular for lunch.
What?
I used to send through all the bills. When's the funeral?
What? Oh, Thursday.
Oh, good. Thought so. That's what I told Mr. Colvil.
When was this?
You were in the chamber.
He say why he wanted to know?
No. Thought he was a friend or something. Oh, it's sad, isn't it? Lovely day like this and old Mr. Barker gone.
I see. Yes, lovely. I think I'll give the club a miss. Perhaps some music instead.
Our concern was simple, dear heart. We were about to bring him in.
Coincidence?
We turned Telichka 12 years back. He was here as a first secretary. Until 3 weeks ago, no problems.
Why not?
He was recalled to Prague for so-called consultations.
Happens all the time.
4 days ago, he was still in Prague, remember? We picked up routine on a 219 intercept.
That's a house code, but you told me...
I also told you we were running out of time. The link was Gower Street.
An MP told Five that Telichka was working for you.
We still don't know how he knew. But Five told Prague, all right.
What about Telichka?
He came out black, Vienna, yesterday morning.
So, if there's someone in Five, Telichka must know?
Not necessarily. Even if he does, he might hang on to it.
Well, squeeze him.
Oh, it'll come out bit by bit. But a list of names is a convertible currency for him.
So we're not out of it yet?
I don't know. I thought he went rather splendidly this morning.
Come on, Henry. Who is it in the house?
It needn't surface. He won't stand at the next election. We don't need his blood. It's tidy that way, and it's happened before.
Blunt?
And there have been others.
Wigton won't let go. He wants a trophy.
Well, if push comes to shove, he can have one.
Who?
Now, that's not for me to decide. But shall we say, the dead tell no lies, nor truths?
Barker? You're joking. He wasn't involved in this.
Of course not. Well, we could find circumstantial evidence. Acquaintances, cocktail parties, even lunch bills.
The Prime Minister would never buy that.
Ah, dear heart. You and I are mere innocents, subject to the whims of those Herods who govern us.
Never in 1,000 years.
Well played. I do, however, hear, Charles, that at a certain meeting last night, our two Herods agreed that, should the wolves of Westminster demand meat, then how much better to throw a dead rather than a live body.
My godfather James.
A wise and honourable man indeed. A spot of lunch, dear boy. Your club or mine?
In that episode of The House, you heard Julian Glover as Charles Bannister, Timothy West as Dougal Baxter, Sarah Bedell as Mary Bannister, Christopher Benjamin as Henry Colvil, David Ryle as Dennis Wigton, Sheila Reid as Rose, and Ruth Gemmell as Polly Bannister. Nick Beresford was played by Rupert Baker, the Speaker of the House by David McAllister, the Barber and the Flunky by Christopher Scott, and the Waiter and the Leader of the House by Michael Kilgareth. Other parts were played by Ken Cumberledge, Ian Targett, David Googe, John Bull, David King, Charles Simpson, Brian Miller, and Danny Schiller. The House was written by Christopher Lee and produced by Pete Atkin.